Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I guess things are just looking bad all around today, but it looks like we are all set. Oh boy, and yeah, okay.
Yeah, we should be all set. I just reset us a little bit just so we had some we can get the beginning of this game rather than just getting
There we
the
go.
beginning cut off. There we go.
There we go, indeed. Alrighty, so as I was saying, Sin 4 King Kyle 1 over here in the duo lane on Kernanos and Kepri, and poor Kepri's getting nerfed, and so is Fafnir for that matter, which is being played by Gabe Ethan and Kalachakra on Hou Yi for the Void Walkers.
Yeah, a little bit of fight here in middle lane, just a little bit of a trade. Sloth in the box doing a pretty good job of getting some poke down. Gambit doesn't have great clear, he's not able to step aside of the wave, and even though Academy on the Thoth has weak clear, they're going to be able to go ahead and invade the speed buff and get an advantage there.
Indeed, but rather than go for the speed buff, they're instead going to opt for the mid camps. Meanwhile, over in the duo lane, though, there seems to be a little bit of fighting. I'm sorry, I'm getting the key combinations wrong, so bear with me if the camera movement seems a little bit strange. I'm not used to having everything 100% flipped. That being said, it looks like the fight in the duo lane was all for naught, and they're just about to hit level 2, which is going to be very important for them.
Oh my lord, E-Man, what in the world? I finally just looked at your camera. Like, what?
It's completely flipped. I know. It is the most confusing thing ever.
But that's amazing. That's what I've been asking for years, and it finally bugs out and doesn't hold that thought. Sloth in the box taking a lot of damage from Root and the Mexi, but Jaycaw's here to force him out. But now Blizzard's actually made the rotation. Sloth is taking a lot of damage, and it's going to be one dad, and now Jaycaw's trying to run away. He's going to try to get out. He looks like he's going to be able to make it. But 1 for O trade, really good rotation from Blizzard, but Academy could still fall here. Root and the Mexi trying to get more. There's a really good wall to block him off, and now Gambit gets the other kill. 2 for O for so far for Nick.
What a brilliant wall. Donald Trump would be proud. He would be screaming Kofefe all night long with that one. So well done from that Thor. Right, the Mexi is really making it work for his team because both of those kills were on the participation of the solo laner and the mid laner, two guys who you really want to be ahead in your game.
Definitely really good so far for them to be able to get the solo and the middle lane ahead, and definitely put Thor in a really good winning position to gank this duo lane, try to put pressure on the other side of the map. It's not been winning so far. It's been going pretty even so far in the duo lane.
Indeed, and when you take a look at the early advantage, it's quite clearly going to Nixios as a result of that, now 700. From the pair of kills, King Kyle 1 in a little bit of trouble. Oh, what a bounce too, Kalashakar showing us that Hou Yi skill, which is so important. Because if you're hitting those bounces, you're going to keep the pressure off. Kepri's such a high pressure god, very well played from Voidwalkers in that respect.
Yeah, I've actually played a bit with Kyle Checker myself and some casual couple rank games. He's quite a good AD carry player. He's really consistent, and he's really smart in the way he plays. He tends to play pretty conservatively. I mean, he'll go for these trades if you see now and try and trade out with Sim4, but he doesn't really play super hyper aggro in the way that you might see some other Zapman-esque style. He definitely plays cautious but aggressive, and he's quite good. So I think we'll definitely see some interesting plays coming out of him on a playmaking god like Hou Yi.
Indeed. Over in the solo lane, Blitzit, the new pickup for Nixios, as we were talking with Valve earlier before he had to go. Thanks for technical difficulties. Blitzit has been standing up really well to this Nike, someone who's been traditionally so strong in the solo lane. He's really showing what he can do on this Sun Wukong, and meanwhile, I missed
Another kill in mid. Sloth in the box, and you try to use the ultimate to get it out of the way. Ruth the Mexi is possibly going to go for the kill. The Sloth in the box looking for the juke, but doesn't get the teleport off in time. He gets Academy as well. 2 hit with the ultimate, and now one more auto will do it. Root trying to hit him, but it seems like he's just not able to quite get him. But there's the double tap. Gonna pick him up. Ruth the Mexi gonna get sundered, actually being forced to Aegis off the damage from Fafnir. That's a 2 for 0 trade so far, or 2 for 1 trade, excuse me, so far for Nixios. And what an incredible ult from the Thor.
Indeed, right, the Mexi saw the opportunity and picked himself up a couple more kills. He's now 2-0-2. That's every single kill being thanks to him, so he's going to get really far ahead as a result. And a Fed Thor, that is very scary.
Yeah, definitely a really good position so far for Nixios. They've got about 1,000 gold lead. They're in a really solid place where they can continue to look for more ganks and pressure in these lanes. They have a lot of pressuring lanes. Wukong not quite so much, but that's mainly due to clear. He's got really good CC and engage. Chang'e best mid laner in the game right now for high level play, and the Cernino is obviously just so incredibly strong in the mid to late game.
Indeed, the pressure is on though. We just saw a failed gank onto Sin4. Very good presence of mind from him. It's the ward that gave it away. He was able to position himself smartly and escape that. And Gambit as well is not going to suffer the same fate. There's a lot of really good vision going on, and that's stopping Nixios from getting counter ganked. And that's why you see the scoreline now that is 4-1.
Yeah, really, really interesting fights in the mid. It's all been about that Thor play so far, and the Thor combined with Gambit's Chang'e. They seem to be doing a pretty good job of controlling the vision as well, like you noted on these wards. Voidwalkers have a lot of vision in left side though, and Child Trucker is looking for a fight onto Sin4, but I don't think he's quite gonna get it quite yet.
Indeed, and the ward placement is again to be responsible for that. Meanwhile, it looks like a fight might start up here over by the Oracles, and it looks
like they're gonna be traded.
Yes, they were split up, so nobody gets the vision on that. But we didn't. I thought we would see a real fight break out. I want to see Nixios go full gas pedal on these guys because we've seen how strong Ryu the Mexi can be here on this Thor.
And not only that, but you have the Chang'e ultimate as well. If you can find a good position to catch a couple players, especially with beads down. Academy doesn't have his beads back up from the last fight. It does. He's just barely about to come up. Sloth, it does have his beads up. You can at least guarantee a beads burn and then a quick disengage, as you have a lot of disengage tools as well. So I'm really surprised that Nixios didn't go for that fight there.
Indeed, and now Kalachakra, we just saw him get the better of a fight. He's gonna force Sin4 back to the base. Sorry, the other way around. We saw Sin4 get the better of that fight and force Kalachakra back to the base. That's what I meant to say. And as a result, knowing there's one player less there, Nixios is going to look over on the right side. They won't find the kill because of the mobility that a Susano has. It means that he's not exactly gankable, but the important thing is they have the presence of mind to move over to that side of the map, and this high-level play from Nixios could translate to something like a Gold Fury as the game progresses.
What in the world is that camera swap? That's so confusing.
I know,
Between
right?
left and right side. Oh my lord.
My key bindings are all screwed up, and I feel like Twitch chat's so upset. I can't see Twitch chat, by the way. I had to close it in order to make my camera work properly. But
Twitch chat, we haven't seen any complaints so far, but definitely an interesting bug, and we do have VOD of it directly, so shout out to Hi-Rez. You can definitely see what's going on. I have no idea how much this is a bug or how much this is a feature, but definitely something to be looked at.
Well, over in the mid lane, it looks like Gambit's getting pressured out, and this time Voidwalkers are the one looking for aggressive positioning. In fact, I think, yes, Sloth in a Box is opting to back instead because the invade onto the red buff might not necessarily happen, and we haven't seen Gambit be relevant enough. I mean, granted, he is playing Chang'e, and Chang'e isn't necessarily the big burst kind of mage that you might see typically in the mid lane, but I want to see more relevance from that mid laner. Well, as I say this, of course, over at the Gold Fury, here we go.
Yeah, Gold Fury's gonna be started up, but it's gonna be leashed pretty quickly. Sloth looking for something, but just gonna take a Berserker's Barrage and return some damage as well. But J-Cos has made the rotation. He's gonna be looking for more. There's the ultimate out of him. Is he looking to focus on the Gambit, taking a lot of damage? Good Chang'e ultimate to get him out of dodge. But the Cerner's ultimate, along with Academy, is gonna completely kill King Kyle on the backside. Sloth and Box trying to escape, but Riot is taken out. Both junglers trade their lives. And now it's a 2-for-1. Sin4 now is being taken out. J-Cos looking for the last kill onto Gambit. Kalachakra as well. He's not going to be able to juke away from the Academy, though. 3-for-1 trade, I believe. But Gambit is going to be next if Blizzard manages to take him out. There's the ultimate. He's going to turn directly onto him, I believe. Looking up, what's Blizzard going to do?
I think
he's
he
gonna
just
hold
wants
it
to kill.
Oh
no, he screwed up.
And he's not going to get it. Such a huge misplay. He's going to drop the kill. But and Academy's going to pick him up. What is that, a 4-for-1 trade and a huge misplay out of Nixios, the solo laner?
Indeed, he should have went straight for it. Of course, he wasn't sure if Fafnir's jump was up or not, but that was absolutely insane. The play out of Voidwalkers, though, was really smart there. They stayed together and they isolated the correct targets. Hold that thought. King Kyle's going in to steal! Not
No,
quite
he's not
there.
gonna get it. Voidwalker's gonna pick away, but I think he was trying to wait for his cooldowns to be up so he'd be able to continue fighting the other two members that would be there once he came down out of the ultimate. But he just waited too long. If he waited one last second and just used his ultimate and been able to tank more damage before he got his escape off, he would have been just fine and gotten killed.
Well, as a result of that Gold Fury here, the XP and Gold are back to relatively even. In fact, Voidwalkers both slightly in the lead as a direct result from that, which means that we are seeing a relatively even game. But I want to say that Nixios made a pretty big misplay. The fact that they split up meant that they were able to be singled out one by one. They didn't pick up a single kill in that engagement, and that's a huge problem for Nixios. That being said, I still think that their movements and overall gameplay are going to be smarter. So we'll see if it's going to be a case of isolated plays or grand strategy that's going to end up taking the victory in this match.
Yeah, I agree with you there, but either way, both teams are going to be looking for the next fight. But I think the real difference is the question of whether Slaughterbox can make a big difference. He's going to be ulting because he's really, really low and getting out, but Academy with the ultimate on the top. Final Judgment takes out Gambit. And as I just make the comment that this Susanoo needs to show what he's made of, he makes a really good play, though he does take, I think, a little bit too much damage.
Indeed. Oh, right with the Mexi with a little bit of misplay. A very good Scarab's Blessing is going to keep him alive, though. All that move speed, I think that Thor was just zooming, and very well done for him. Sin4 is going to try and defend the red buff there. Kalachakra, he's ready to take this fight.
Yeah, both hunters trying to look for something. Oh, wow. Incredible double balance from Kalachakra is going to put him in a huge position to try to steal this red buff. Sin4 trying to hit it with the Bramble Blast, but Kalachakra is just looking for more. There's the ultimate, not being able to dash away from the beads from Kali. He's going to continue this box, and Sin4 gets taken out. Soloed in the chat as Kalachakra takes out Sin4, looking for the red buff. Super greedy play. He is going to get a dive bomb out of there. But on the right side,
he just stole away the, well, left side for me, he just stole away the Portal Demon. Oh my goodness, what a play. And right with the Mexi's jumping in.
Yeah, he manages to make up for the previous play by stealing that away. Right, the Mexi taking a lot of damage. Jacobs with the Rend, completely destroying him. He's the first to fall. Now Gambit's been sundered, but he's going to turn on Slaughterbox to go another kill onto the enemy jungler. Gambit is looking for more onto Gambit. He's been sundered down, but he should be able to walk away here. And what an incredible, crazy, dare I say, clown fiesta of a fight.
I would say that's quite the clown fiesta. When the Sun Wukong can come out of nowhere and steal away that Portal Demon, oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's something they for sure weren't counting on.
Yeah, fighting on all sides of the map so far. Definitely an exciting game. 9-6, only 12 minutes in, boys and girls. And we're only 800 gold in the lead for Voidwalkers. Basically a completely even game with tons of possibilities.
Indeed, there's 900 gold. Sorry, make that 600 gold for Voidwalkers and 700 experience for them as well. So, as a result of that clown fiesta, nothing's happened. But look at Wukong's relic.
Yeah, Wukong picking up a Sunder. I'm surprised we're not even seeing actually more Sunders in these games, actually, for just how completely broken it seems to be at the pro level of play. But either way, it gives you so much kill potential on gods you should never have kill potential against. I mean, you should never be able to burn down a Khepri with 3 Thoth hits and a couple auto attacks from AD carry. But with Sunder, you can do it almost immediately.
Nah, dude, Sunder is fine. Sunder's fine. I don't know why they're nerfing it this patch. Sunder's fine. We should all be Loki. Come on.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I think is really funny? If any of you guys are big into Twitter, and this might seem on Twitter, you can, Derpy Bear, which is Barracuda's girlfriend, posts every day a Sunder complaint message. Every single day.
For how long?
For like the last 3 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
She just complains every day. I think we should see a quick pause, see if we can check in with these players to see how long it's going to be for. Really quick, guys, as we're going to sit through. So is there anything in these builds, any of the jungle builds? I don't really know. Actually, what do you think of this Do More?
Doomorb. It's a great item for when you're ahead. Actually, Silent, I don't know if you got a message from Supportance or not.
I have not. What's going on?
Admin decision we need to make.
Ah, yeah, okay. I'll deal with that really quickly, guys. Is there anything about this Doom Orb though that you think is particularly interesting?
Yeah, go ahead, check that out while I talk about Doom Orb. I like Doom Orb. I think Doom Orb is a great pickup. I miss back in the old days of Season 2 when you could pick up a Doom Orb and just completely crap on people. Oh my god, Smite, what are you doing?
Seems like some weird pausing situation. Makes Spectator want to die. Razmexy has DC'd and looks like they're going to try to replace him. So I think we just go ahead and talk about that build, even though Smite seems to be having issues.
Oh, yeah. I mean, did you answer Supportance's question? Did you see Supportance's
I'm
question?
going to solve right now.
Okay. So, Doom Orb is a very good pickup. I miss the good old days of Season 2 when you just could absolutely crap on people with, all of a sudden you're playing Anubis and you just do 70% of their HP because they got caught in your grasping hands. Or, you know, the good old days when, if you were me, and, you know, you may not have been the best at Smite, and you'd get Doom Orb and you'd always get BM'd because you could never get more than 10 stacks. It's a really good item in that it's so dependent on your skill. If you're doing well, you get huge reward, and if you're doing badly, you get hugely punished. And so it's so cool to see it. I'm not sure if Thoth is going to continue in by building it to Soul Reaver. If he is, oh, it's going to hurt. Oh, it's going to hurt so bad.
I think this is a double stack with a Book of Thoth.
But if it is double stacking, I mean, Thoth builds stacks. He might as well finish off with a Warlock, Sash. And then Tahuti.
I don't think it's necessarily like the greatest thing on a god like Thoth. I kind of feel like the just rush into Book of Thoth is almost just better for him. You're getting the guaranteed stacks, getting the extra mana, you're working with your passive, continue stacking. Though I don't think Doom Orb is the worst thing. I actually kind of like it more on gods like Chang'e who want to kind of build into like a Shield of Regrowth or a Lotus Crown or something immediately like after buying Pen Boots. And so I think that's probably where I would have put my Doom Orb. But either way, I think Doom Orb is a great item if you're willing to play safe.
If you are willing to play safe. Well, this Thoth has been playing safe enough. He's got that full stacks that have been staying online. He's 5, 2, and 2. And normally when you see a Thoth with Doom Orb, you want to punish him. But nonetheless, we're going to see how they punish him as the game continues. This time it's Kalachakra who's DC'd.
Yeah, so I don't really know. I haven't heard anything from these players on the production side. You know, usually we get DMs from these players telling what's going on. But either way, hopefully Kalachakra comes back. I don't know if he's just resetting his stuff or if he's actually DC'd. But both teams have 9 minutes of pause time. So I guess we'll assume that the Voidwalker's pause will just start when Kalachakra DCs, when Riot's back. But either way, hopefully we'll see this getting unpaused pretty quickly. I don't know if there's anything else quite to talk about besides I'm looking at both these soul laners and there's no mystical mail. What's up with that?
Okay, mystical mail is not the end-all be-all of the solo lane, and I know you might want to BM me for saying that, but mystical mail is not that great. It's just frustrating to play against, that's all. In fact, we are seeing this Nike go into what looks like it could be a shifter shield, and I don't know about that.
Does it also, if I'm not crazy, does it also build into Runeforged Hammer? Could also be looking for extra slows.
Runeforged Hammer tier 2 is that weird thing that goes into Shillelagh or something, right?
There's some items that I never buy because I don't play Warriors, so I get sometimes confused about some of these items. I don't know. I think Mystical Mail just does so much work in these team fights, especially when you have gods like Nike and Wukong that stay alive in the fight for so long. I mean, even though it's a really small amount of tick damage, it just works throughout the entirety of the fight. And if you're able to stay alive and continue to apply to the backline, it actually does a lot more than you think.
Well, we do see something interesting, which is that the Sunders have been picked up by Nike. And in addition to the Fafnir. I mean, we see it on the support sometimes. On the solo laner, I guess both solo laners have it here. Sunder's a great item. But don't you think at least someone on Voidwalkers should have a bit more of a teamfight-oriented relic? Because what it looks like to me is King Kyle's Frenzy could be the difference maker in a fight that the Voidwalkers just don't have.
Well, we definitely have unstarted. We don't have to keep talking anymore. We managed to fast forward through this pause since we are a little bit behind due to all the technical difficulties. What item again was it? I'm sorry, E-Man. I
Frenzy.
got a little lost. Frenzy. I think Frenzy's a viable item. I think Sunder is usually better in a lot of these scenarios to get the single target kills. When you want to push down objectives, or you just want to take on a team fight, I think it's definitely a really, really good item. But you can see Calchacker, look at this BM, completely zoning Sinfor out of this wave because he knows his Fafnir's coming and he has the advantage. But either way, actually, Thorwald's going to be completely missed due to the Bird Bomb. Really good job by Calchacker, but now he's going to get double tap, going to miss the stun off Ricochet. There's Cinder's ultimate being Aegis away. Looks like Calchacker, excuse me, is going to be able to yank it away. But now, right, the Mexi's the next to be turned on. There's the Kepri ult to try to keep him alive for just a little bit longer. Gabithan's going to barely pick him up in time. As Sinfor doesn't get knocked up, but Softenbach's looking for more. There's the Aegis onto him as both ADCs trade their Aegis. A free kill for Voidwalkers.
Indeed, right? The Mexi just couldn't time that Scarab's Blessing right this time, and that's why he falls. So, another kill now for Voidwalkers, but the important thing is they have the pressure, and they might just be able to take this Gold Fury for free as well. As you can see here, the gold difference is already 1,800 in their favor, so now we can start to see a definitive lead emerge finally. About 1,500, sorry, about 15 minutes in. Hold that thought. Oh, and there's a teleport.
Gold Fury is going to be taken. The final judgment popped a little bit early just for extra damage. But Voidwalkers are going to get a free Gold Fury out of this. J-Cost using the ult to zone King Kyle away completely. A little bit unnecessary. By the way, I don't think he's going to mind too much.
And I'm not sure, but Voidwalkers might just want to keep going around the map, grouping up, looking for more objectives. This tier 1 tower in the middle, it looks relatively weak. I don't know how much they could do to defend against the full siege.
Yeah, if they do go for the full siege, especially if they burn the Fafnir ultimate to get... What is it called Coerce? Am I crazy?
Fafnir's
Fafnir's
buff is called Coerce.
There we go. I'm not crazy. I'm not imagining things. And try to push in this tower. I don't think they'll be able to stop it. But Blizzard and J-Cost fighting a little bit, but it looks like Jake doesn't really care. Probably wants to back directly to the base, but actually getting very low. He doesn't have the ultimate up. Right, the Mexican is going to be able to get the double tap off the knock up. And J-Cost just taking too much poke and playing really arrogantly. No risk.
I say that at least the jump from that Nike was pretty sexy in dodging the Thor ult, but there's no way he was gonna live off of that. Even so, he could have jumped maybe in place, but of course you get the knock-up immunity if you get Berserker's Barrage up fast enough. I guess it doesn't really matter in the end, but even so, this free kill is another mistake that Voidwalkers really shouldn't be making, considering they're ahead. It's not throwing their lead, obviously, because they have 2,100 gold advantage, but really they need to be playing smarter, grouping up, like I said, going for objectives, and perhaps look at, for example, the Portal Demon next.
Yeah, I talked about perhaps Nike over the break, possibly getting the Runeforged Hammer, but it's actually Wukong that's got the Runeforged Hammer, and I quite like it a lot. You do get a lot of extra like physical power in your build, and they take increased damage if they're affected by crowd control, which essentially just means if you stun them, if you knock them up, if anyone on your team gets any CC, they're going to take some increased damage. It's a really good passive.
Indeed, and there is so much you see for this to work out, but hold that thought, Blitz it. He might be caught out in the jungle in a little bit of a weird spot.
Sloth in a box well and away on him, but there's the Sunder into double tap, and Sloth in a box got completely erased. The power of Sunder is shown to its full extent right there. J-Cost looking for some revenge for his Solinaire, who's going to get immediately knocked up out of the Ren. Use the ultimate as well, but there's only Gabithan here with him. Gambit taking a lot of damage, being forced to immune away, but there's the Thor ult looking up in the air for something. The final judgment lands onto Blizzard, but it's the fake Blizzard, not the real Blizzard. Academy, he falls to Sinfor on the rotation, and Kalachakra is nowhere to be found. Gabithan's going to be using his ultimate to try to get out of dodge here. I don't think he can make it away. Ambush wasn't there for King Kyle, but Blizzard's going to chase in. Really good stun to force Blizzard off, and Gabithan saves his own life with some really good stun.
Indeed, but the frenzy scared them away, and it looks like this might be a free Portal Demon for them, because Kalachakra is the only one who can defend, and what does he have to do it with?
Ryan is going to get completely picked off, trying to zone, and there's the Suns as well. J-Cost leaping in, looking for stuff on the backline support, but he's getting blown up either way. Both Soliners getting completely destroyed in the front line. They can't stand to these Hunters who are quite leveled, even leveled above them actually. And Kalachakra is looking for more onto his King Kyle, but no stun there for Fef.
But the Portal Demon, it was secured by, I think it was Sun Wukong from downtown with a big magic cudgel, so really important for them. But, oh no, Blitzit, why did you walk in?
He's teleported in. He's going to actually get his Ox form dashed off. And I don't think there's any more CC coming out from Kalachakra. And he's going to be able to get out after a little bit of a cheeky play that I don't think he should have gotten away with.
Indeed. I mean, he did just back, and now he's going to have to do it again if he wants to get back to full health. But meanwhile, this Thor, oh my goodness, right? The Mexi, he's playing it dangerous. The ward coverage is there. So Nixios knows he's there. That means that the fight in mid lane, it wouldn't exactly be a good idea for Nixios to take right now.
I think the real difference in what's going on a lot of these times in this game is like somehow Slothanabox is able to set up, but he's not quite getting a lot of damage and kills out. Actually, he's going to get completely bursted. He's going to be turned into a little piggy, but now Blizzard's right there. The Magic Cudgel picks him up after he gets hit by the Chang'e ultimate, and his team is being forced back. Voidwalker's looking to try to avenge him after his death. Blizzard being forced into the ultimate, should be able to get away on that little cloud, but just another kill free for Nixios that shouldn't have gone away because Slothanabox is so far behind and not able to get much done.
A beautiful double tap, and J-Cos is absolutely getting destroyed. Final Judgment off the mark into the air, goes right to Mexi. He's looking at J-Cos in the back. A beautiful drop onto 2, and the dunk is gonna go. Oh my goodness, the Thunder kill one more time. Sin4 picks up J-Cos. It's going all Nixios' way, and now it looks like the tower is free pickings for Team Nixios. An incredible play.
Yeah, and that just happens. You don't have the Susanoo ult, you don't have all the CC and damage that comes out when he's with there. And really, Slothanabox is 0-6. They're going to pop the Frenzy to look towards his Fire Giant. I think they're going to get it completely uncontested. But either way, you just have a jungler that's not able to impact these team packs like Riot is. He's getting really good ultimates off. Really, a lot of damage off the double tap. When we take a look at player damage, he's 2,000 ahead, and it's just really put Voidwalkers in an awkward position not to have a jungler who's able to get a lot of work done.
Indeed, and the jungling has been so important. Riot the Mexi has been making all the impacts in the team fights. Susanoo, though, he can make an impact. We just haven't seen it enough just yet.
So also something else also to note is that Thoth, even though he missed the Final Judgment, actually did die that fight, dropping a lot of Doom Orb stacks down to 18 right now. So his damage is going to be really, really nerfed in a way this game until he managed to get those stacks back up. He's also stacking Book of Thoth, and he's building into Pen, but he doesn't really have any cooldown besides the starter item. And he's really not in a great spot for a lot of these fights. There's not a lot of CC set up without the Susanoo ult for him to get a big ultimate off to blow someone away. And oh no, the rotation to left side. This looks ugly.
Well, goodbye, Ho Yi. It was nice knowing you with 5 members strong with Fire Giant, who just cleaned up the Gold Fury, didn't even commit any abilities to it, so it'll be a matter of time. Goodbye, Kalachakra.
Yes, he just really overextends with absolutely no wards on that side and just gets rotated on. I mean, the whole team just goes, there's a guy there. Why is there a guy there? He's really far up. Well, let's just kill him.
Now they're gonna push in down on the left side, which is on the right side on my screen. Nike's gonna try and base race them with the split push, but it doesn't look like that'll be to any consequence as the tier 2 is about to go down as well, and Nixios moves ever closer to the base of the Voidwalkers.
Yeah, Sin4 is really shredding up on this tower, and now they've made a huge change, about a 5,000 difference, 6 or so thousand difference in the gold change in just the last few minutes, and now it's a 5,000 gold lead for Nixios, where it was Voidwalkers after just a couple of really awkward fights and a Fire Giant intake.
Indeed, and now Sin4 here, he's doing so much damage. He's now level 18, he's got his Fatalis online, he's got the Quinn size, he's got so much attack speed going for him, 1.95. This is now a character you can no longer ignore in these team fights, and we'll see what he's gonna do as I love how Nixios is converting so well off of this Fire Giant. They took
and they're just
tier
completely
1, another tier 2, and now they're on another one.
Yeah, and they're just completely objective focused. Like, you can just see they're not interested in really team fighting or diving right now. Actually, hold that thought right to Mexi. I have to eat my words as he goes completely in, pulled away by Slothanabox. This fight's really, really broken up. Blizzard on the front side as his whole team tries to deal with J-Cos in the back. Right to Mexi being forced out. He's going to actually manage to kill J-Cos with King Kyle getting the last hit, some support, earning some love. Blizzard jumps back down, but he could be in a spot of trouble. Final Judgment's going to hit no one as Blizzard's been sundered down in Academy. Both solo laners trade each other's lives with a free T2 for Nixios as they're going to take that one and walk away with a nice 1,000 gold in their pockets.
Yeah, if I'm Nixios, I'd say that's kind of worth, because sure, you're trading solo laners, but you get the objective. And sure, you might argue, oh, but they have the Fire Giant on the Sun Wukong that you don't want to lose. And I say to that, you know what, I don't really care so much. It's going to fall off in about 45 seconds anyway. It's time to spend this 6,000 golden hand or whatever that everyone has. Let me find that golden hand. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Well, about 3,000 golden hand per player. And that's going to be so important. Plus, now that they have the Portal Demon, they'll just get right back in so quickly. We'll see all the items they're building up now. It's going to be huge. So I'd say, you know what? Worth. Absolutely.
I mean, it's only been since about 22 minutes,
Right,
20 or so minutes in this game since Nixios have turned this around. And in 4 minutes, such an incredible gold lead off the back of that fight in Fire Giant. And definitely they've put themselves in such a really strong position after a really awkward early game that they were kind of trading out these kind of weird team fights. I don't think, I mean, just to kind of talk about these individual players perhaps, I don't think Gambit's quite shown all the strengths of Chunga, the way you're able to kind of weave in and out of team fights and heal the backline. We haven't seen Gambit looking for more of that healing play. He's definitely gone into a really aggressive burst mage build, which is kind of a little bit awkward on Chunga, but either way, he's done plenty of, and he's really not done that much work in these team fights, but he's actually managed to do a lot of work on healing his team and using his ults really well. We've seen a lot of really good Chunga ults.
Well, Kyle Chakra's gonna just miss a very nice triple bounce, but what's really surprising me is how much damage this Sun Wukong is doing in these fights. Because he's been able to distract the back line and force them to 1v4 like they did in that last fight, you basically have free reign for Riot the Mexi to get all the kills, but in reality, this Sun Wukong hurts. The recent buff to his scaling is clearly showing through in the sheer amount of damage that he's been able to do. And he has 17,000 player damage. As Fire Giant respawns, we'll see who's going to be the one who tries to keep the enemies at bay while they look at potentially starting it up. Into the sky, right with the Mexi. He jumps down onto the Academy, beautifully takes out 3/4 of his health, and goodbye, J-Cause, after that.
Final judgment, being charged, looking for more. Skibithi's only going to hit Sin4, not doing too much. Academy taken out by Blizzard. Sin4 is the next to fall to Kala Chakra, as it is managed to be a 2-for-1 trade so far, but Gabithan and Kala are completely on the run, and the Fire Giants next on the minds of Nixios.
Yeah, there's nothing Voidwalkers can really do to defend against that Fire Giant. Sloth in a box takes so much damage from that double tap. Oh my goodness, I thought he was dead. Crazy stuff going on there, as now, yes, there's not too much Voidwalkers can do to defend against this Fire Giant siege going on now. But that being said, at least there will be one fewer on Team Nixios. I'd say it doesn't even matter. I mean, sure, Sin4, he's important being an ADC. He's 4, 3, and 5 though, and I still say Sun Wukong is so impactful in these fights. You just, you know, at least he's alive, and he's gonna get that Fire Giant buff, and there's not much opportunity for Voidwalkers to fight now. Again, they're just gonna have to sort of penalty kill like Natural Predators are doing right now.
I absolutely agree with you. Sin4's done so much work. He's right next to Blizzard at the top of the player damage charts. And it's really, a lot of it's been these ultimates, but also just the way he kind of maneuvers in this team fight with the Fatalis that Kala doesn't have. He's been able to get some incredible ults that have been able to have a lot of CC and burst damage for his team. That's put Nixios in a really good spot. But I think if we're really talking about playmaking so far, we've got to be talking about Riot. He's been doing so much work in these team fights. He's been landing multiple target ults, huge walls to stun off and separate team members and carries. And he's just the double taps on the hammer have been absolutely nasty.
Indeed, Riot the Mexi has been making all the difference in these team fights. He's 4, 4, and 13. There literally hasn't been a kill yet in this game that hasn't involved him right now, and that is absolutely nuts. That's a support stat line, not a jungler.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. Doing really, really well, and it's just kind of these interesting builds. Kala Chakra is gone for this double crit build, doesn't have any lifesteal. And, I mean, neither does Cernerus, but then again, he's got a passive, so who cares about building lifesteal? You know what I
What
mean?
do you mean
But
Ternanos doesn't have lifesteal? Come on, you press 1.
no, he doesn't. He hasn't built it. I mean, it's not an item that he's built, but he's already got one. That's what I'm saying in his kit. He has built-in Aussie, I guess you could say, or built-in a bit of lifesteal. And I think the double kit Kinkala isn't
He gets
quite working as
15%
much.
lifesteal. 15%.
That's why I said he has plenty of lifesteal. He doesn't need to build an item.
Well, nonetheless, it looks like the siege is gonna happen here over on what would be the left side if my camera was the right
Yeah, and
way
I'm surprised
around.
we don't see Blizzard just dash in, look for a stun, and then just pop the ultimate pretty much immediately. Just look to get that his own little substitute, I guess you could call it, his little copy to tank for him. But Blizzard's looking to zone out Sloth in the box. Don't know if this is the best decision for Nixios. They're gonna knock up J-Cos, looking for more, but actually King Cos taking a lot of damage from College.
The Thunder! It's body blocked!
Gabithan's gonna look for the ultimate. J-Cos looking for more as King Cos brings up something right the Nixie with a huge ult to turn around the team fight. But Cal is absolutely shredding, but inside the Cernos ult, Sloth in the box taking a 5-man ultimate. Huge knock up there. Blizzard looking for more, focusing down this tower as J-Cos is 1 hit away. The ambush in from King Cos is gonna guarantee C4 the last hit. And Kalachako just wasn't able to do enough in that team fight. He almost took out 2 members.
Not so much a penalty killing play here for Voidwalkers as they trade 3 for 1. Right at the Mexi finally was the target here, but too little too late after that huge ultimate secured so much for his team. Oh, the Thunder. Blitzit might be in a little bit of trouble, but no, Sloth in a box, you aren't escaping. Is Blitzit away? Yes, he is, and Sin4 gets the kill into Sloth in a box for good measure. So 2 Phoenixes fall, 4 for 1, and it looks like Nixios are walking away quite happy, or in Sin4's case, giddy up. He's a, what's Kernanos again? A ram?
He's a ram.
What do rams do? They canter?
I don't know. Who's got Google? Who's got Google and they can pull it up and tell us what it is. I mean, I know there's
Tell
like
us.
a school of fish. I know it's like a school of fish and it's like a flock of geese, but like I don't know what
It's actually
it
a
is
gaggle of geese for your information.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry.
And Twitch chat,
What
you
is
can
this,
Google
some
that one
British,
too.
Some British scummery.
I promise you, it's a gaggle of geese.
It's some British scummery. That's what I'm gonna. I know you are right. It's like a flock of birds, but a gaggle of geese. What? Oh, the English
is
language.
great.
What an interesting language. But either way, 13,000 gold lead for Nixios, and they got this one in the bag. They have to make a couple really big misplays, even though these fights have actually been still pretty competitive, though.
Well, the penalty killing play, as I described it, for those NHL fans who are watching perhaps the Penguins versus the Predators in another tab, let me know how that's going later on. But it looks like we have ourselves another Fire Giant going to be started up. At this point, yes, the play for Nixios, rather for Voidwalkers, is not to challenge the Fire Giant. It's to hold off the fire waves, put them as far back as they can, try and stall out the Fire Giant, maybe get a pick of someone who gets out of position, because at this point, you aren't going to win your fights with 3 Sunders with a team. You have to pick people off individually.
Yeah, the triple Sunder threat for Voidwalkers, it does allow them to get a lot of damage off, but they haven't been able to confirm a lot of these kills or really just focus the right target that they've sundered. It doesn't seem like they're quite calling out, hey, I've sundered down Kinkal, focus Kepri, he's really squishy now. Maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't seem like they're able to quite get these last hits on a lot of these guys who have been sundered, or the Kepri ult has revived a lot of players. But definitely they have to look out for that Thor ult. I think that's really the biggest thing. If they don't get grouped up for that Thor ult, Riot doesn't get more than 1 player off that ulti, they're in a good spot to try to turn around this game.
Indeed, and
But
now the
J-Cos
siege goes
getting
up.
plucked in, and Sin4 just shreds J-Cos. Doesn't stand a chance. Surrender vote comes out. Polymorph onto Kala, and he's completely erased by Gambit with the ultimate there. Voidwalker's trying to do something to get out of this, but right the Mexi cleans up Sloth in a box, and it looks like this is going to be the end of the game, guys. 25-14 so far. Academy looking for something out of the final judgment again. Not going to hit it once again, and Nixios takes this game 25-14.
King Kyle with the hot beam there, moving forward with the scares busting onto the enemy base. But this game was Nixios's, or I should say Riot the Mexis, from beginning to end. 5-5 and 18. That's 23 out of 25 kills. Absolutely insane performance from him. So well done. GG, well played, and they're gonna move on to face off against
We have to actually solve that. There might be some kind of admin issue that needs to take place. So we're going to go on a quick break, guys. We're going to figure out who it is that Nixios will be playing for the finals best of 3 for 1,000 gem prize this week. We'll be right back. Do not turn away. We're going to see if we can just give you guys on a quick loading screen or just pause screen. Or just maybe we'll show this. Who knows?
I think we'll stick with this.
Well, we're just gonna spaz it up. Anyways, guys, we'll be right back. Do not turn away.
Stand by.
With the bass so low and a mix so sick, you can wake up face plant down in the gully, man. I'm a scummy man, beats on a running man. Hard to the bar, get hard, then cunning plan. These bars hit hard like a train. I'ma leave you locked out cold in the rain. No pain, no gain, no same old, same old. We got the beat locked down in the chokehold. Locked down in the chokehold. With the bass so low and a mix so sick, you can wake up face plant down in the gully, man. I'm a scummy man, beats on a running man. Hard to the bar, get hard, man, cunning plan. These bars hit hard like a train. I'ma leave you locked out cold in the rain. No pain, no gain, no same old, same old. We got the beat locked down in the chokehold. Locked down in the chokehold.
There's a place I imagine as my escape, where my impression is new and hopeful. I lie awake, knowing my heart is worlds away from ever feeling like it is safe. Watch and wait for the next phase. Soon enough, everything will
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, or at least I thought we were until I realized that OBS is fantastic. Yes. Come on. Really?
It came up for a second.
Yeah. That was because it was monitor capture as opposed to game capture, except I can't put on monitor capture right now because there's notifications that will show up from my Steam. Messages from a certain somebody.
Well, let's not respond to those. Deal with those for just a second. We can see what the bands are, and they got black screen for just a second, guys. Osiris banned by Nixios
Here's what I
and
can do.
Cernunos, and what in the world? Why is my
That
brain
didn't
blanking?
work.
And Ravana. No, you got it up. There you go.
No, I tried to.
Fighting you. Is it giving you a hard time?
Yeah.
Well, Bologna first pick. Regardless, we can see no surprise there. Still a lot of really high tier picks still up on the board. Susanoo, Hoonbots, all still there for both these teams. We could also see the Thor played once again by Earthmix. You know, he's going to go for that Susanoo. I expect to see a Fafnir, possibly a Khepri. We could also just see the Thoth be picked up as well. So really a lot of options here.
There we
Do you
go.
have
Fixed it. There we go. Now we won't accidentally be seeing notifications that you shouldn't see. And Ganesha. Ganesha, there we go. Second time tonight. Like you said, it's so interesting that we haven't seen a lot of this lately.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ganesha's in a really good spot. I'm interested to see how he plays out, though. He had a bit of trouble in the last game we did watch him in, but I'm not quite sure how much that was due to Ganesha or his team really having struggles. So we'll see where it goes. I'm interested to see more of him. I think he's definitely a really good god. That has a lot of potential.
Well, we'll see how that goes, but it looks like Khepri is blocked in for the Dragon Knights.
Yeah, Khepri's going to be locked in. A lot of save potential. You have the ultimate, of course, with the revive, but I think he also works really, really well with the Bologna. If I'm not mistaken, this is almost the exact draft we saw in the first round with Dragon Knights versus, oh Lord Almighty, who was it?
It was against the... Oh dear. Now you're putting me on the spot.
Oh, I'll take a quick look at peek and cheek against Elemental Esports.
There we go.
I'll just be cheating. Our aspect ratio seems to be getting even weirder than it normally is.
No,
What
no,
are you up to?
I put the black bar there so that you don't see the things in the corner.
No cheating for us, guys. We can't possibly tell what's going on either way. I thought I was just hallucinating about something. I thought I was just going crazy. We see the Thoth and Rama been banned away by Nixios, and the Poseidon ban, as well as the Hercules ban. We haven't seen Poseidon ban quite often. He's kind of been floating out of this meta, surprisingly.
Well, we might see Poseidon on and off. I do believe we've seen a lot of play of Poseidon in the Pro League. So, if anything, I should say we should be more surprised that we don't see him so much in the current set of, at least the meta that we have in our Phoenix Smite League.
Yeah, Scylla being hovered as well, definitely really good god, but has to hit a lot off, is reliant really on CC, but oh, that really cool new Medusa skin. I'm really so hyped for it. I think it's super awesome.
I do like it a lot as well. It's a really nice skin, and would you look at that? It's the locking in of Sun Wukong once again for Blitzed, who made such a huge impact in that last game with it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it so much.
We've actually seen, I think, all 3 games. We've seen the same Bologna Wukong matchup, which I don't know how much is in part to these player preferences or perhaps the meta, but also seeing the Osiris and the Hercules banned pretty much every single time after the Bologna was picked. So seems like Solo's developing a 4th pick that can kind of, in some way deal with the Bologna, but I'm just really excited.
Well, then, as we are about to load in, hey, I got my thing fixed. Nice. We'll be underway shortly. I'm not sure how live we are, and thus, oh, it looks like we're not very live, and we're loading right in.
Yeah, no, we got a short spectator delay on pretty much all these games, which is really nice for live casting.
Oh yeah.
So we won't have to wait for 3 minutes and just try to talk.
Well, from the get-go, for these compositions, I have to give it to, I'd probably say, I really like the composition of Nixios. I think they're going to do so strongly. Right, the Mexi's shown that he knows where to be on the jungling position, and he's got the Susanoo this time, which can do pretty much the same thing as a Thor. You get in, you do the damage, and you get out.
Yeah, you're still flipped. What?
Am I?
You're
I'm
still
not
on.
flipped.
You're on red side.
I think the bug is finally done.
Oh. Ah.
Aha!
What? I'm really really glad that we do have video evidence of this to show to hire. So oftentimes you see these like really weird interactions that you just don't have on record. You know, you don't get to ever. You're not streaming personally or recording, but you know sometimes you do get these really fun bugs, and it's
frames.
really fun.
Oh, frames. I know, guys. Yeah, you probably are seeing a couple frames drop. I know. This happens at the beginning of the game when I have to move the things around. Please don't kill me. We're good, though. We should be good. And let's bring up the composition. So we saw Nixios play against... Oh, dear. Yes, okay. We're good. So we saw Nixios play against Susano. And it's interesting to see Riot this time playing on Susano. I wonder what that's about.
Well, I mean, I think he's really just him and Hoonbots are the best junglers in the game, really. So I mean, you just want to pick the guy who's probably just slightly edges out the Hoonbots. I think just due to ease of play, honestly, in my personal opinion, and just ease of getting abilities off, versus just the immediate hit Hoonbots pickup. They both do very similar things. They have big AoE CC ultimates that force you to burn beads or use escapes. They have a lot of burst damage and then get in and out of fights really quickly with teleport on your own kit. So very similar gods that are both really popular as the waves are both cleared in mid. See who's gonna get the better advantage. It seems like it will be an almost equivalent clear from both teams. So either way, both teams are gonna go to farm their own jungle, but we do see a purple buff invade for Dragon Knights on the left side.
Indeed, and Dragon Knights are going to be able to pick up the smalls. Just that is a very good advantage, especially when you want to shut down Sin4, who was so strong in the last game. And we remember how much of an impact he had, although it seemed like it was all Sun Wukong. Sin4 was huge in so much because of the fact that he had the Quinn size online and everyone was just ignoring him, and next thing you know, your supports are dead.
Yeah, that's...
Invade.
Yeah, red buff invaded as well as the purple, and it seems like Dragon Knights are getting a lot of this jungle advantage for themselves. It's really important that they do this, but on the other side, I'm really kind of surprised that Riot they haven't tried to invade this right side. The blue buff's still up. They haven't gone for the fire elementals at all, and they're finally going to actually make the rotation now that I've just momentarily said that, because of course Caster's good.
Of course, indeed, and if Ferocity isn't careful, he could find himself in a very strange spot, because he does want his own blue buff, but he might not know that there are 3 members of the enemy team down there. Unless he's going to check, realize it's gone, and understand what's just happened, but I don't know if the call-out's going to happen towards mid for that.
Yeah, either way, Dragon Knight's probably about 200, 300 gold up. They're going to get these oracles. Well, wave to wave, it's not quite consistent. So they have a slight lead due to the red buff and purple buff invade that you should be seeing more of now that they finally took their own buffs. But either way, this game is going slightly in their favor, but there's still plenty of chances for Nixios to come back. We saw them do super well in the team fight stages of the last game.
Indeed, and they didn't seem to have a lead until very late. Nonetheless, I want to see what Supportance can do, because he was such a huge factor in the game that we saw against... you cheated. Am I allowed to cheat?
Cheat on what? Oh, on
who
teams?
they faced? Yes.
Who Dragon Knights? They faced Elemental in the first game, and then
we saw how much
in the
Supportance did, and that was huge. Uh-oh, Hotbow. Using a little bit of
Blizzard
trouble.
gonna use a teleport on. Bludgeon's gonna land, but it's not quite enough as a fight on the left side looks like. Here's the rotation made by Rook. He doesn't have an ultimate. The pull is gonna miss onto Hotbow, and he's just gonna be able to get away, and that's just a rotation by Riot that just doesn't work out.
Meanwhile, on the right side, Fear No Evil goes out, and Blizzard, he's going to survive. Ferocity didn't have the Eagles rally, just hit 5. Oh, feels
and Blitzkov
bad,
also
man.
didn't have the teleport from the monkey to be able to teleport and get the auto.
Wait,
and get
hold
out.
that thought. Is he gonna go? No.
No. Ferocity isn't quite that ballsy, doesn't seem. Sin4 and just dive bomb away from root. Nothing special happening on the left lane. But yeah, this game looks like it's going to be pretty exciting, and it is a best of 3 set for 1,000 gems, 200 per player, guys. So there is a lot riding on these wins.
Indeed, and these players are going to play their hearts out. Riot the Mexi has finally hit level 5, and although we haven't seen an early gank from Susano, it's not the end of the world. Granted, Susano is one of those characters you want to be ahead or else he feels kind of useless, but the fact of the matter is he can still be very useful even now. 4 minutes in, still no kills, but the passive farm game is totally fine for these guys.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you there. I think they're just fine farming it out, and I like the last game we saw, which was incredibly aggressive, which I think had so it was like 9-6. What read the scoreline? I think 15 kills in the first like 8 or so minutes. Really crazy game. But either way, right, the Mexi is going to take the speed buff, sorry, take his own blue buff as the fire elementals are taken by Dragon Knights. There's just a lot of farming going on.
A lot of farming indeed, but it's all about the careful positioning. You can see the ward coverage really favors Dragon Knights right now on the right side, which means they can afford to get really aggressive. Ferocity is out-bullying Blitzit. Blitzkov shows his face as well, and they might even go for the dive here as Wukong realizes this. He's going to have to try and run away. Blitzkov has zoned him out, and there could be some early pressure onto this tier 1 tower.
Yeah, looks like they're just going to poke it down a little bit. They don't have the damage, though, or another way to do much. But Blizzard going in for the ultimate. Right makes the rotation. Blitzkov being forced to use the ultimate, but two-man pull in by Riot. He's getting a lot of damage onto Blitzkov. There's this two-stun ulti as well. Frosty looking to go in. Sunder is going to miss onto Blizzard, and so far, no casualties from this fight after all the ults were used.
A lot of missed abilities there, and even the rotation from the support was basically to no avail, and that means nothing has really happened as a result of that, but that's a pretty big win for Nixios considering all the investment that Dragon Knights put in onto that fight. I want to see them take advantage of that by starting a fight elsewhere on the map, having held on to more ultimates.
Yeah, definitely have to agree with you there. I really want to see more fighting out of these teams. And I think if Vulcans made the rotation as well, it could have used the Scylla ultimate to secure one of these kills, just to see more of an all-in from these teams to make all their aggressive rotations for another fight. But either way, just based on farming, Dragon Knight's up about 1,000 gold. Really well done from them so far.
Indeed, and they pick up the Oracles as well, putting them forward another couple hundred gold, which is very important. Dragon Knights are showing they're capable of high-level play, and they're capable of being more aware of who's available in different places on the map. But Sim4, oh my goodness, those insane ricochets are absolutely decimating Hotba, who has to back now.
Yeah, but I think it'll be actually, but hold that thought. Gamma getting plucked in, getting into the immunity frames, can probably get out into safety. Even though Riot, the Mexi's the next one to be turned on. Riot's gonna be able to get out of there, no problems. Gamma tries to heal up with his one, but either way, good little skirmish there from Dragon Knights, and they're gonna get the advantage of those fire elementals.
Indeed, and the fire elementals going that way is going to do something to counter the good farm that we've been seeing out of Dragon Knights here. The Nixios is doing well in terms of stopping the bleeding now, but it looks like they might try to bait the next fight here at mid, and King Kyle's caught out.
Yeah, Supporting's going in for the ambush, but not going to find anything. Pause by Gamma. We've seen a lot of pauses this turn. I want to see quite what's going on. I don't think I've received any messages, so I'm hoping that we'll be able to get through this pretty shortly. Just kind of looking at these builds here. Everything's pretty much standard, but what do you think, actually, interestingly enough, about this health challenge that Ferocity has picked up? Excuse me.
Health Chalice is a very good pickup if you're also getting the teleport, because you're going to be able to save coins I said because I looked at consumables, but to save your gold overall. You can tell what game I've been playing, and using that to accelerate your build when normally as a solo laner you just get pots and pots and pots and your sustain is kind of cut off, right? The Mexi's working on connecting back up, and until then, I mean, you can see how it's going to affect the builds. Bologna did go for Red Boots and Death's Toll, but also a Mark of the Vanguard. Meanwhile, Sun Wukong, he's going into Breastplate. So the cost of their builds has been relatively even. But if you want to take a look at the gold in hand, you can see that the Bologna is already ahead of the Sun Wukong. And that's so important because of how this is going to slowly bleed the Wukong out over time. Already you can see he's been bullied out of lane more than once. And already you can see the effect it's been having, considering the fact that the Bologna is able to make a bigger difference in the team fight at this level.
Yeah, I definitely think the Bologna's going to have more of an impact with the Eagles rally, especially. Got a lot of CC and damage off that. But what we're really looking at is to see these two mid lane mages, I think, farm up. Soul and Scylla both really good in the mid to late game, especially the late game, with both become carries in a very, very different way. But once these two mages really try to get CC off the backline, I think it really comes down to who can set up better and who can hit more abilities for a lot of these teams.
Well, when it comes down to it, you want to look at where the CC is, and you have to give that to Blitzkov. There is almost no better ultimate than the Fear No Evil when it comes to disrupting a team fight, being able to isolate individuals and stuff like that. The peel is also there better from Supportance than for King Kyle. For sure, Khepri is a lot more important when you want to try and save your teammates from a potentially disadvantageous spot in a fight. That being said, when it comes down to it, if you have all this disengage and peel and stuff like that coming out of Dragon Knights, Nyxios makes up for it with their composition in terms of damage. We've seen how much that Ganesh can chunk when it comes down to the Dharmic Pillars or, any of the abilities basically. There's very high damage for a Guardian on King Kyle 1 there. And as well, you look at Sin4, he's doing a lot. We haven't seen Hotbow do too much in terms of damage. I mean, if we look at the damage numbers themselves, I think it already speaks so much for it that Hotbow's got so much damage off on the Medusa. But when it comes down to it, it's not been Medusa involved in the team fights. We've seen Hou Yi double bounces going all over the place during attempted ganks. Granted, we haven't seen any kills this game so far, and we haven't seen even any damage out of King Kyle. But as the game's going to progress, I think that Hou Yi's going to do a lot more than Medusa, because let's be real, Hi-Rez thought it was a good idea to give a Hunter a Zeus ult.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Hui ult can be really, really impactful. But what I'm really most concerned about is the comp on Nyxios not really having any good engage. Ganesha probably not going to be engaging too many fights. Blizzard, or at least saw Wukong in some of the early games, having trouble starting off team fights. So I think it really is going to come down to Riot or Blizzard being the ones to engage. And if they lack engage, they're going to lack the ability to make proactive team fights happen.
Well, so far, I mean, seeing on the build paths, it looks like we are going to go for a late game oriented idea, because we have essentially all starter items and stuff, but no fighting and no early kills. So when it comes down to it, both of these teams are going to play it out to the late game, and it's going to rely a lot more on strategy, working together in the team fights, compared to how it might go, for example, if you were looking for individual picks or, specific items of individuals' builds.
Yeah, right, the Mexi has come back. So actually, we're getting the impulse right as I do see that Sin4 taking some damage. That's actually Medusa. Oh, they're going to go all in on him. Here's a fig rotation. Blitzkov with the ultimate as well. And Sin4 has nowhere to go. Last hit by Blitzkov. And the first kill, right as we're talking about how passive they've been playing, goes to Dragon Knights.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm an incompetent cameraman. We did sort of miss the kill, but at least we did hear the ultimates going off. And that's going to be a free Gold Fury for Dragon Knights with 0 response out of Nyxios.
Yeah, I'm a monster going to be used to try to secure it.
Oh,
actually,
no,
off the mark. The Gold Fury, they do actually pick it up. The Supportance dies in a huge soul going through. Ganesha pulling back into Hoppo, he's dead. Vulcan's Headlight, he's dead. Ferocity, he's next in the chopping block, and he doesn't have anywhere to go. Susanoo not going to land, but the teleport is there. Right from Mexi going in for the last couple autos. Disarm, not going to land. He's coming right back into the R's of Sin4, and there's a double bounce. He's got nowhere to go, and Nyxios take a huge fight. They drop the Gold Fury, but they make it worth it.
See ya.
And I think all that really comes down to them not being able to completely zone with Blona, not using the ultimate to just engage straight up and zone and possibly sacrifice his life for the Gold Fury, but also just a complete pull away by Supportance, pulls away the Gold Fury out of range of I'm a Monster when it's already been cast. I mean, just a huge misplay from Supportance that game, that fight there.
Indeed, and Supportance is definitely got to be more on his game. Nyxios 4-1 now read the kills. A lot different from the passive game we thought we saw earlier. Finally, the first fight breaks out, but like I said, it's about the team play and how they work together, and that's clearly made all the difference so far.
Yeah, we can just see how Nyxios is able to turn on these team fights, and this is a lot of their experience. They did spend all of last split together, almost the same team that we see here. I believe Gambit was with them for actually the end of the season as well. All playing in Champions. They are playing in Premier, but they are playing. I believe they are playing in Champions now still
I don't
as
know,
well.
that's your job to manage.
If I'm not quite mistaken, my brain is just kind of blanking on every single team that's in this league, all 18 of them. But either way, we can just see how experienced they are at turning these team fights around, and they definitely are able to work together really effectively.
Indeed, and now the positioning is once again very cautious. Some people are being caught out though, and it looks like there might be another attempt to gank on the right side. Blitzit sees it and decides to back off. Very smart. So in the end, the goal difference here is going to continue to increase for Dragon Knights, but they are going to bleed out if they keep looking to fight as opposed to farm. And frankly, with Nixios having won the last fight in such the commanding way that they did, I don't blame them.
Yeah, the Gold Fury absolutely helped them keep the lead, but also they had a lead before, but they've continued farming. Hoppo getting hit by another Ricochet, by Sin4 getting out-traded here, trying to get a few extra autos in. But Sin4 actually going to go into the dive bomb, not going to quite get it. There's Medusa on top of the Suns, but he doesn't have anywhere to go. The slow is enough. Vulcan's Headblast as well dies on the other end. Nixios with 2 kills across the 2 sides of the map is the middle, and the ADC gets kills.
One of them soloed, the other one ganked, but nonetheless the outcome is the same. Easy 2 free kills for Dragon Knights, but I take issue to the fact that they don't try to propel themselves to some kind of advantage as a result. I would love to see Nixios rather group up now and do something like, you know, go for a middle tower, or, you know, go for their positioning is very favorable to attempt a Portal Demon maybe early on, not just so much for the gold or experience, but just to take advantage of the fact that it's probably free, and I don't think they can afford to defend.
Yeah, I definitely think they could have gone for some kind of Pearl Demon. I think it was just coming up at the time. It was like 950 or whatever. But you could have rotated Sin4 over to mid to keep pressure over there after you get the solo kill. And just rotate the whole team. You also have the ADC, quote-unquote, of Soul going over there, able to push down a lot of these objectives really, really quickly. And I think it's really just a shame that Nixios hasn't had the objective gameplay quite on point in the early game that some of the other teams have. Other late game, they've shown that they can really push it.
Well, now it's Dragon Knights who are gonna try and sneak this Portal Demon over on the right side, noting that Nixios hasn't been doing any kind of objective play, and seeing that they have the ward coverage, I think it's gonna be completely free.
I just love watching this support, and it's just trying to wail away onto it and finally leash it soon onto Vulcan's Headlights. But either way, this should be taking pretty quickly. Finally, Blitzkov makes rotation. Surprised we didn't see anything, but I guess they wanted to keep it all super sneaky. Like, they avoided all the wards with 2 sentry wards to get them in. Really well done, and that's going to even up this game to pretty much even. It's about 700 gold lead, but that's pretty much negligible.
Indeed, and that's what happens when you don't have the ward coverage. You pay for it, and that's what happened. The Portal Demon went down. Very smart, cerebral play of Dragon Knights, and like I said earlier, this is what it comes down to. It's about the cerebral style of play. Meanwhile,
Another
Sin4,
Medusa, hold that thought. He's being used on Sin4 to go into Hoppo. He's taking a lot of damage by Blitzkov, who takes him out on the rotation. Really well done to bait for Hoppo. He's going to try to back, but now, right, the Mexi wants him. Blitzkov is going to be looked at by the jungler for Nixios. Here's a Susana ult as well to try to catch him, but not enough damage as they managed to make it out with a nice and free gank onto the left side.
Sin4 just got hella jebaited. And actually, though, this is a very heads-up play from Nixios. They're looking at the Gold Fury.
They're looking to start this up. There's the Frenzy as well, with Soul just wailing away with that passive. 33% extra damage, auto attacks, extra attack speed. There's the ultimate from her as well. And Nixios picks up the Gold Fury. Evens out this game to almost even. I mean, they actually have the gold lead now, and maybe by like 100.
Talk about punishing no vision, and well, it happens again. There it is. Now that brings this gold, like you said, back to perfectly even though the kills might read 6-2 and the XP difference might be in the advantage of Nixios. Very, very good heads-up play from Nixios, recognizing what they might not have been able to recognize before.
Yeah, also something else to note, we've seen a significantly less amount of Sunders this game. Only 3 on, if you combine all of them for both teams. So Ganesha could still pick one up, I somehow doubt it. Expect we'll see a Meditation or Shell or something of the sort. Try to get his team out of trouble. But either way, less Sunders means you can't burn down these Guardians as much, and we're going to see a much more carry-focused game, I expect.
Well, it's all about which team is going to group up, pick those fights better, as Vulcan's Headlights, he's looking careful. He's really got to be careful not to get picked off here.
Yeah, and I like how both these mages, especially Vulcans, is just really playing for farm. They're not really looking to fight much. We've only seen the one I'm a monster attempted at the Gold Fury, and that's about it. So really looking to try to get into this late game and farm as much as possible, which I think is probably the right call for Ascilla. I mean, you really do very little until you hit about level 15 or so.
Well, the pressure is over in the mid lane. It's over on the right lane as well. And I think I want to see Nixios try and do something to keep them away. because they can't let themselves be bullied in this manner, or else they will just bleed slowly to death. You can see Dragon Knights are just climbing in the way of that gold advantage because there's not really much they can do to secure their own farm without much help. And Gambit, hi there, turn around, there's a Capri, someone got soloed on the other side of the map. There goes the Fear No Evil, but Gambit's gonna immune himself away. Even so, that's a clean solo kill over on the right side, and big
Yeah,
advantage for
nice
Dragon
little
Knights.
cheeky Sunder from Ferocity to get the last hit with the Sunder. Picks up a kill there. And this is just the strength. I know we kind of talked and disagreed about it, but this is the strength of Mystical Mail and the Mark of the Vanguard. There's just no way any other solo laner can possibly even begin to box Ferocity, even under their tower. Ferocity took 4 or 5 tower shots and just didn't care at all due to all that protections and the Mystical.
Indeed, and Ferocity, as a result, is going to take the tier 1 tower, and we haven't seen any ganks onto the Bologna on that side, which is something I think Nixios probably could deal with if they have Riot. The Mexi is very easy to cancel Bologna's Bludgeon, relatively easy to gank a Bologna if you're a Susano, but Riot, I don't want to give him no credit. Of course, he's 3-0-2, and that's really important for him.
Yeah, Riot's done pretty well this game. He hasn't seen quite the impact he has before, as he hasn't been able to effectively gank into the dual lane. But either way, he's still done a lot of work and been really impactful in these team fights. And so it's really important to watch out for him and make sure that they focus on that.
Hotbo, meanwhile, over on the left side, he nearly just got soloed there. There's 4 still grouped up in mid. You can tell Dragon Knights really wants to fight, but there's not much they can do if their ADC is forced back.
Yeah, the scary thing for Dragon Knights is really this Hu Yi, who's been just getting the better of Medusa all game with these really good bludgeons and bludgeons with the Ferocity, really good plays on this left side, and it really puts them in an awkward position. Actually, leaving on a Sinfor by Blitzkov. There's the Hunbot's ultimate. Beads and Aegis both for Sinfor doing a lot of damage. He's gonna ult onto himself. Scylla's there as well, but Ferocity picks up the last hit on that kill. Right, the Mexi now gonna trade out. Vulcan's headlight is dead before we can even get the I'm a Monster off as well. Silence out on this left side. There's a Susan ult to try to knock up this Hunbots. He's gonna be able to get away. Right, the Mexi taking incredibly low. Aegis is gonna immune a lot of damage with another good bludgeon from Ferocity. Picks up another kill. 2-for-1 trade so far for Dragon Knights as they try to look for something, as the game is now paused once again.
It looks like Supportance has DC'd, but that's okay. Dragon Knights now, again, they got a good 2-for-1, and that's really good for them. They could look at Gold Fury if it were up, but I think that's still a huge win for them. They can also pressure that tier 1, considering they chased everyone over to the left side. The options are open for them as soon as their support reconnects, but we are seeing a little bit of a better impact for Medusa this time in that fight. I mean, I say this as, of course, we saw Ferocity really was doing all the work in that fight, picked up a couple kills for himself. It's so good to see, though, that all the team is grouping up, and it all came from a single call, which was Blitzkov saying, you know what, I see Hu Yi over here, and I know he just pressured our Medusa away, but I think we could go on this. And they did go on it, and they got the kill, and they got another one. Sure, they traded their mid laner for it, but 2-for-1, I'd say it's worth.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a worth play for them. Splitter's actually coming back pretty quickly, guys, so we shouldn't be paused for altogether too much longer. But definitely a Gold Fury take is in the works here for Dragon Knights, and they have stuff that they can put in to this game. They did manage to win that really good team fight, a lot on the back of Ferocity, who's able to sit in the back line and just wail away on a lot of the carries.
Well, since Gold Fury isn't up, they can't exactly opt for it. I'm surprised. It looks like maybe a little bit of a misplay because perhaps the warding isn't in place. They don't exactly know who's around. They don't go for that mid-tier 1 tower. But nonetheless, you can see that they are going to be going for some farm, and their advantage off of that fight is very significant now, up 1,900 gold.
Yeah, I think really the farming is what's really impressive so far coming out of Dragon Knights. They've done a lot of work getting the most out of these waves, sharing EXP effectively, and I'm really impressed of how they've been able to just climb ahead of Nixios in the farm, but they've still had trouble in the team fights. That was the first team fight they were actually able to really win in a convincing manner, but unfortunately there wasn't the easy gold free for them to take. They weren't really feeling confident enough. Are you getting stasis mode?
I'm not getting stasis mode. Polished game.
High
Res,
res. Please.
Well, then.
It seems I'm actually out of stasis mode. and maybe I can cast you. So yes, I think I've all caught up here. That was just an interesting development. Not much happening. Frosty and Blizzard going to slap each other a little bit. Nothing much going to come of it.
Indeed, and over on the left side, you can see Hotbo's positioning himself quite aggressively, as it looks like another fight might break out in mid sometime very, very soon. But Hotbo, I don't think you want to fight a Houyi in the jungle. He's gonna get a sick bounce.
Yeah, Sinfor is doing a really good job of handling Hotbo in most of these team fights. Last time in the last team fight, Hotbo was able to get a good ultimate off, but Sinfor has been able to handle him in the lane. Split of these Oracle Harpies means nobody gets the vision over them for a gold free that's just spawned really valuable vision that neither team is going to get. And it's going to go to who has more vision around it, which a lot of the wards have died. This is a really prime spot for both these teams to have a fight, and gold free has been started by Dragon.
Well, Blitzkov's got all that zone potential, so already the frenzy full commit. It doesn't look like anyone's going to be able to steal it. Dragon Knights get what they came for. Blitz is going to be forced up into the air. Fear No Evil comes out with Dharmic Pillars. Vulcan's Headlight's going to pick up Riot the Mexi. In comes the Houyi dive bombing, but Blitz is going to pick up supportants on the backside. Vulcan's Headlight's going to get a double kill bestowed by onto King Kyle, who's not going to be bestowing any more kills as Ganesha. It looks like another clean 2-for-1 and a gold Fury though the other way, and that means we have a 3,800 gold advantage for the Dragon Knights. Make that, sorry, the 2-for-1 the way of Dragon Knights in addition to the gold Fury. Very well played for them.
Yeah, Hoppo now feeling himself a little bit, trying to go in for this trade on Sinfor. He's got the better of him all game. Sinfor looking for the box, still got the stun onto him. Hoppo dashing away. There's the dive bomb as well, with an awkward animation cut that was kind of hilarious to watch, as they both are going to back away, but Hoppo's Aegis was burned.
Well, that's a pretty big plus for Sinfor because he's been going all. Oh
no, he's gonna get caught.
Get
And
soloed.
Sinfor solos Hotbo for the rude, disrespectful play of going in for hashtag one more wave. Can we get those in the chat, please? We don't have the hilarious memes from Zabin on his. Actually, hold that thought. Blizzard onto Blitzkov with a stellar. Wow, the stellar burst did so much damage.
Indeed, having no magical protections, that Hunbats is getting absolutely shredded. And Riot the Mexi looks like he wants to go in, but it's actually just a zone out as they try to start up the Portal Demon. If Supportan steals this over the wall, I'm gonna laugh so hard. Hold that thought, Roma and
I'm
Victa.
a monster.
Not quite.
He's not gonna get it. Nixio's Doomage is secured away, but Roma and Victa almost steals it. Ferocity taking actually pretty low now. He's all on his own. His team is there, right? Mexi pulls in, but there's the ambush. Ganesh on top of Houyi's sons as well. Vulcan runs away, but he's being chased. He's been chased down by Blizzard. Hunbats will try to peel for his mid laner. Vulcan is still trying to get away from Blizzard. He's looking for more really good roots. Probably going to keep him alive. Well done. As Supportant's running away in the back, in front. He's got nowhere to go. Supportant's. Oh, interesting Medusa being used there to try to keep his support alive. But either way, Supportant's going to get away. No.
Yes, and Vulcan's Headlights just escaped stage right from that Wukong. What a chase it was. Riot the Mexi tries to go in, takes a couple of shots to the face from Hotbo for his troubles, but there isn't too much to win for Nixios off of that, other than the fact that they got a couple of kills, and that just brings the goal to 2,000 in the favor of Nixios, so rather of Dragon Knights. So not a huge win for Nixios, but at least something to come back into this game.
Yeah, very, very close back and forth game so far. Team fight wins on both sides. And this is eventually going to come down to just one final play. But I think what we're really looking at is Hoppo to make something work and happen in these team fights. It's not been really effective with the Medusa. Hasn't really gotten much off. But if we see a big Medusa, it's definitely a game changer if he's managed just to get some work done with it. He's 0-3 right now. Not been able to make a presence at all this game. But if he does, it could be the big development for Dragon Knights in the
I'm loving Blitzkov's ability to zone the enemy support away while they go ahead and pressure the left side tower. No one knows who's around the corner because the vision is only there for Dragon Knights and not for Nixios, and that allows Hotbo to have such aggressive positioning. This Medusa maybe hasn't been working out for him so well because he's 0-3-5, but I mean, let's give him some credit. He's been doing a ton of damage to anyone who gets out of position, and that's really important for Hotbo to take advantage of the kinds of situations that are presented to him.
Yeah, actually, Sinfor almost exactly double the damage of Hoppo so far. Having a lot of interest, but hold that thought. Supportant's getting caught out. He's in a world of hurt. Hunbot's hoping to use to try to zone him out, but not at all aggressively. Sunder down on supportance. They're going to run him down. He doesn't have anywhere to go. Going to pop the Kepriel to try to stay alive for a little bit longer. It's not going to work. It actually is going to be popped off, but here's a huge Susan ult as well. Gambit taking incredibly low and the monster, but supportance is still alive somehow. He's got his Sunder up, but he's going to finally fall. So far, no other deaths, but Nixios members are very, very low, trying to run away from Ferocity. Blizzard finally picks up Vulcan's headlights on the other end, and a 2-for-0 trade for Nixios after supportance lives for so long, but his team just isn't able to get anything done off of it.
Indeed, and you can see that Hotbo was having such a hard time being positioned in the correct place for that fight, as well as the fact that we saw the most incredible jukes from supportants. Call him Shadow Q. It's absolutely incredible stuff from the Kepri. And once again, right, the Mexi has actually DC'd one more time. And hopefully he'll be coming back soon. But there is so much going on in terms of the way that fight went down. It seemed like it was very uncoordinated. No one was going onto a single target. The Kepri managed to stay alive for far too long. I mean, sure, he ulted himself. He wasn't going to live anyway, but it was really... so much was going on. I mean, I couldn't even keep the camera on the correct players at some of the right times because I was trying to see when that Kepri would die, when meanwhile Scylla was this time not so fortunate in escaping the wrath of Blitzed over there on the right side. But nonetheless, the way that fight went down...
I think the real mistake is Ferocity ends the team fight with 3/4 health. Hotbo ends the team fight with full health. And Blitzkov ends the team fight with 80% health. You have 3 big carries that could do a lot of work in these team fights that just aren't really getting in there and doing a lot of work. Supportants probably could have lived with all the juking ones, or at least they could have traded him out for at least one other kill if they'd managed to kind of get in there. But it seems like they're playing really cautious and don't really know who to go on, and there just seems to be a lot of confusion on the Dragon Nanites comms when it comes to some of these team fights.
Right, and like I mentioned earlier, it's so difficult for Hoppo to get into a good position where he's able to make such a huge impact, while meanwhile we've been seeing Sin4 on the front lines doing so much, and you can tell from the player damage as well. Sin4 is crawling to 16,000 damage in 23 minutes. It's incredibly impressive what he's been able to do as a whole, considering the fact that he spent most of his time in his lane farming. So what's really important is the way that these fights have been going down is that, yes, we aren't seeing enough damage out of Hotbo, and he's been trying to position himself correctly, but he's playing too cautious, and perhaps it's just a result of the fact that he doesn't trust his team enough to peel for him. When you see Hunbats going into the back line, it's the Kepri that goes in to save him, but not necessarily his ADC. So when Bellona goes in, Bellona doesn't have enough peel for his Scylla or Medusa, and I think that's the real issue there. When it comes down to it, their fights is just a lot about their positioning.
Yeah, and I think really Sin4 is making such a huge impact. He's top damage in the whole game, whereas Hoppo's really been struggling this whole time to make it work. The dueling combined for Dragon Nanites is 0-6, and they just really struggled to get off the ground with some of these plays. But on the other side, we can just see 4-3 Sin4 and 5-2 for Rotomexi, who's doing a really good job this game, even though he is DC, and hopefully he ends up coming back.
We see a lot of high impact plays here, and it's the fact of the matter is, the way that fight ended up, we're now at 1100 gold in the advantage of Dragon Knights. So another fight that went the way of Nixios, but we've been seeing one-sided fights the whole way through. It's all about who decides to focus the correct targets and who decides not to. And when it comes down to it, that fight, sure, it went Dragon Knights' way, but Nixios has been showing that they're definitely capable of really strong... Sorry, the other way. It went Nixios' way, but Dragon Knights have shown that they can also do their share when it comes to really good team fighting. So I'm excited to see how this continues. I just want to point out Spellbound Kusari. Spellbound Kusari. How often do we see this?
Spellbound Kusari. Sorry, on which player? Are we seeing it on Ganesha?
Yes.
Not often. I don't know what he's building into.
Well,
do you know? I'm at a loss.
Doesn't that go into Shogun's Kasari, which increases the attack speed of those who are near you?
Yes, he's picked it up. That's what it goes into.
There it is.
I'm an expert on this game. No worries.
Yes. So Shogun's Kasari is going to help Hoppo a little bit, but... sorry. Sinfor a little bit, who's been a very high impact player, but I don't know if attack speed for an ability hunter is completely necessary.
I think it's a brilliant
I
pickup.
mean, then
You
again,
have the
Sinfor
soul.
built Fatalis on Ho Yi, so
You have the Soul, you have the Susanoo, you have the Hu Yu,
Soul,
three
I didn't
players
think
who
about
work
that.
really, really well. You have 2 ADCs, and you have the fact that it gives you so much magical protection, 50 now, which is really impactful in team fights.
Right, and the MP5 to keep Ganesha spamming those abilities as well as the CDR and the CCR. I mean, it's not quite 20 CDR, but it's 10 and it's 20 CCR, and that's really important because oh my god, Gambit.
Yeah, Gambit just gets hit by
Oh!
that crush. She gets so much damage, and the crit from Blitzkov erased Gambit before the team fight. Has even looked to break out, and teams have gotten in position. And now, Dragon Unit's looking for more. The crush over the wall from Vulcans is not going to hit again, but now they're going for this. They're going for this Gold Furious Dragon.
Destroyed. There's the Fear No Evil to try and zone. It looks like they're gonna turn and burn. Goodbye, Riot. Where'd you go? Oh wow,
Yeah.
Hotbow misses the ulti, but it doesn't matter. They're gonna frenzy. They're gonna pull the Gold Fury back up.
Yeah, Frosty's going to look to continue zoning. So they've gotten 2 kills so far. Dragon Unit's on a tear. They've got the Sunder onto the solo laner, but they're not going to get much out of it. And I like to see them push one of these towers, go for more objectives, look to push this game. We're already 25 minutes in this game. We're talking about a T1. Come on, guys. Let's push some objectives down.
Indeed, and it looks like they're just gonna take the wave and back off.
No, take objectives.
2,300 gold in hand, and that fight though was huge. You get 4,000 gold advantage now. But if I'm Dragon Knights, I don't have to wait forever to put the gas pedal on. And in fact, 3 players did go over to the right side, so they're gonna grab the Portal Demon, just teleport in, and go straight for Fire Giant, maybe.
I mean, possibly. I mean, if I was the shot caller on Dragon right now, I would be screaming that this T1 had not fallen after about 3 autos from any character would have taken this one down. Hell, Ferocity could have basically just soloed it and just tanked it straight up. I would be not happy. Sinfor going to avoid the crush with Dive Bomb. Really good job. His left side is being pressured by Blizzard. He's going to look to split push.
Well, the split push Sun Wukong, man, have I done that in many a ranked game. Guys, please. Guys, please, someone attack a tower. Well, nonetheless, it looks like the tower damage is going to go through for Sun Wukong as the fight might break out near the Fire Giant pit.
Gambit actually does hit the damage before he gets into the immunity frames. 1 frame possibly got that damage. Now Gambit's taken out again. Another kill down. He's got for the 2nd time so far. Frosty goes in. Eagle rally onto 2. A monster being popped. Sinfor already taken down incredibly low. Huge Susanoo to get them out, but there's the Hui Suns on top. Bird Bomb away is the Hu Yi as Frosty managed to make it out as they're looking for a T2 tower possibly in this middle lane.
Finally, they decide, let's get some objective play off of a kill, and gas pedal it is, supportants. Why aren't you tanking? Go for it already. Yes, the team isn't going to interrupt. Blitzing comes over to the right side. A very good abduct. Goodbye!
He's got nowhere to go in the ambush into a Foonbot. So can we say overkill, guys? As they're going to go push into this T2. Really, really well played. Vulcans and Blitzkov are playing so well together. And Nasilla has finally come online. Finished the Book of Thoughts, finished the Obsidian Shard, finished the Rod of Tahuti, and she is swinging, boys.
Well, and here we go. It's a Fire Giant time now. And I don't know if there's anyone that can really contest this. Dragon Knights get it for free. Ferocity is there, looking at King Kyle, who's forced to use the Dharmic Pillars. Hotbow's ultimate is going to be off the mark, but I think that's fine. Who needs a Petrify when you just got Fire Giant? Back off, reset, push some towers!
Yes, we want towers taken off the map. We want to see more excitement, more objective play, guys. We're continue going through, taking a look at the gold graphs. We have a 6,000 gold lead for Dragon Knights, and they've managed to really turn this game around to an awkward. We have some team fights and trades back and forth to they're really in the driver's seat now.
Indeed, a definitive lead, and Fire Giant means that I should be expecting them to group up and full-on gas pedal, perhaps finally finish up that tier 1 on the left side, free 500 gold, maybe go for the tier 2, probably because I don't think Nixios is in a really good spot able to defend any of their towers left on the map at this point.
Yeah, and these 2 teamfight wins for Dragon Knights has completely come out of Gambit getting completely destroyed and caught out at the beginning. He has to play more safe. It seems like he's not quite super comfortable on the Soul mid and doesn't quite know how to position to get these autos off, but also not get caught. Perhaps it's that, or it could be the ward coverage just isn't there for Nixios. Either way, not a good spot for Gambit. He's going to, as after he takes his second death, and the T2 tower is going to fall on the left side.
Like I said, Nixios isn't in a spot to defend any of their tier 2s, so that's finally what Dragon Knights have done. And sure, they've got the cautious push, but they're in a huge lead as they come and siege up the left-hand Phoenix. Oh, that crush was insane.
Well, Stacy won't affect me again, trying to solo cast until it possibly gets me out. These servers are just a mess right now. It looks like it's going to pull me back in right as I say the servers are a mess.
Oh, wow, indeed. Well, I also experienced a little bit of lag off of that one, and looks like some Wukong there on the backside. He's going to be spotted out, and he's going to be ignored as the frenzies pop. They're going to go full gas pedal on for the middle Phoenix, which does indeed fall. Now they're going to turn to the Sun Wukong, who's trying to disappear to the backside. Blitz Hit's going to be caught out by Blitzkov, and he's not going to survive for too much longer. On the monster, off the mark. A very good juke from the Sun Wukong, but he's held in place. Down he goes. Vulcan's Headlights credited for the kill, and they forgot that they have to take down the tier 2 tower first.
Might be a little bit helpful if they get that objective before they go for the Phoenix. But either way, I think it's going to be a 3 Phoenixes down for the side of Dragon Knights, and they have this game pretty much in the bag now.
Indeed, and now Hotbo has finally decided to turn up. He's swinging, doing 102 damage per basic to that Phoenix. Down it goes, and this is the Dragon Knights that we've been trying to see for so long already.
Yeah, this game has just been really, really awkward, but I think what it's come down to is in these teamfight stages, Vulcan's Headlights has managed to make up for the lost damage from Hotbow, and we've just seen so much work out of Scylla, now standing at the top of the player damage charts, even above Sin4, who got such an early lead when it comes to the damage charts, and definitely taking control of this game.
Vulcan's Headlights made the huge impact in that last fight, and that's Nixios' key back into this game. If that Wukong can keep the Scylla busy, then Nixios can stay alive long enough to take out Hotbo, who's had a slightly lackluster performance this game, and maybe be able to do a little bit better in holding off the fight. But 3 Phoenixes down, they've got a long way to go before they can try to defend against anything.
Yeah, it looks like Ghost taking once again with a 2-man unit of support and some Vulcan's Headlights. Seems like we're seeing a bit of deja vu, but on the other side of the map, as Portal Demon's trying to be taken by another 2-man group as well. Dragon Knight's trying to get the most out of this game.
Well, absolutely, they can go for as long as they want, and they secure the Portal Demon with the Fear No Evil. Worth? Who cares? 15.4k in the lead, and this game looks all but done for game 1.
Yeah, I don't really think Nixios has a way back into this game. The kill count reads almost even, but the gold lead tells a completely different story. Polynomicon already done for Scylla. And you're just going to be absolutely swinging if anybody gets into root Polynomicon range. They're basically dead.
Scylla with Polynomicon is extremely dangerous, especially when you consider this lack of magical protection that you see coming from the enemy team. I mean, granted, Ganesha has some, but Wukong's only magical protection comes from Spirit Robe, only now as he finally decided to build into Silver Talisman. But I feel like that might just be a little bit too late, especially considering for the tankiness, you have 2 Sunders to match from Dragon Knights.
Yeah, I think interesting to take a look at some of these builds. I think the reason why Hoppo has struggled a lot is he has a really awkward build. Only 2 items outside of boots, excuse me, with attack speed, and you can go the Crusher and Titan's Vein as well as Trance, all have really, I think, hurt his ability to deal damage in these fights.
Attack speed.
Okay, I'm crazy, but either way, I don't think he has quite the amount of attack speed that can completely box. But God, they keep changing these items on me. Why do they?
He gets 80% attack speed off of his 1, and he has 2.17 attack speed at the moment. Just saying.
They have altered items with this game.
You should read more patch notes. Nonetheless, it looks like Dragon Knights, they're finally going in for it. Fire Waves coming in. Here comes the Eagles Rally, the Frenzy. They're going all in. And are they actually? There it is.
Huge Susan ult, but the game's still down. Dragon Knights end the game 13-2, reads a kill count. And we're going to go into game 2.
You said 13-2.
13-2. That's the kill count.
12. Whoa there, servers.
Well,
that was an interesting bug.
Well,
polished game.
We've seen it all today. Super polished game. I apparently don't know what the number 12 looks like, We're going to go take a quick pause as you guys take a look at this, guys. We'll be right back with the game 2 of this best of 3 set for 1,000 gems for the winning team. Don't go anywhere.
We'll see you soon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Also, Kofefes. You guys matter too. And everything else in between. It's time for Game 2. And yes, my game capture is actually working. Off the bat, Nixios versus the Dragon Knights.
Yeah, these are just the same bands we've seen every single time. I don't understand the Ravana, and I don't. I don't understand.
Maybe
Why?
they just really don't like Ramen.
But why? It's not good. The Robin jungle isn't good. I mean, I think he's a good solo, but the Robin jungle isn't good. I don't know why, but either way, 3 solo laners banned so far. So much on the table. See what Dragon Knights decides to ban. I expect a Chang'e ban. No, Susanoo ban, so Chang'e is still available for Nixios to pick if they want it in the middle lane.
Well, I mean, we saw what Riot Demexi was able to do in that Susanoo. Maybe they think, yeah, something we should be scared of, but they left Thor open. I don't know, man. It looks like, indeed, they're going to pick up the Hunbots again, though, for Blitzkov, who did a very good job on it.
Yeah, Riot Demexi picking up the Chang'e, and now Hunbots being hovered for Vulcan's head lice, seeming to go in the jungles. Curious to see what they pick. The Ganesha has been locked again. They want to take their turn with this god.
Well, Supportance has played a very good game. I really did like his Khepri, but it looks like Fafnir is going to be the choice for King Kyle this time on the side of Nixios.
Yeah, and this is just really dangerous. They've given over Cernos to Sin 4, as well as Fafnir over to King Kyle. These are 2 really strong dual lane gods.
We've seen what Sinfor can do on Kronos, and while it did kind of look like Hoppo last game, it was very important for them. And I'm interested. I'm interested to see who Hotpo decides to pick up into the Kronos, because it's very hard to lane against. Perhaps he could go for something more farm-oriented and just play for the late game like they did, because Dragon Knight is definitely shone in that late game. At least compared to the early.
Up. Now, there's really this kind of like 4th tier warrior along with Sun Wukong. So we'll see
Bellona got banned.
where the soul lane goes for Nixios.
The Bellona ban, though.
Oh yeah, that Bellona ban definitely pulling her off the map. They didn't want to see that anymore.
They banned Sun Wukong.
What is going on in my life right now?
I don't understand what the point of that ban was, but Ho Yi is going to be banned away from Hotbo. Very good choice. Ho Yi, we've seen how strong it is in Hotbo, and I know Hotbo personally is very good at Ho Yi, so definitely a smart ban. And once again, a Poseidon ban, it is also Cirquet. I'm not sure why they banned Cirquet when we know, right, the Mexi's probably going to play Thor.
Yeah, I do like the Cirquet ban, though. I think Cirquet is just kind of the only other god left that's really a higher tier than Thor. Thor's kind of sitting at A, maybe A plus tier at the most. But I think Cirquet's the only one that's probably sitting just a bit above him in kind of value and the way these players value these gods. So probably not the worst ban ever, but these solo bans are totally nuts even.
Yeah. I mean, we're not in the solo lane meta, are we? Is this Matty Pocket? No? Just checking. Rama's gonna be picked up for Hotboat.
Yeah, Rama picked up. We haven't seen altogether too many PSL Rama games. He's really kind of more passive god that has to wait until at least mid game to get off the ground and look for more box trades. But I don't think he minds. He's up against Cernos, Fafnir. There's pretty much no way they're winning that laning phase unless they make some really impressive plays.
Well, Amaterasu is going to be the pickup for King Kyle, and there's the, rather for Blitzit, and there's the Thor for Riot Demexi that I was expecting. And I love to see the impact that he has, making huge plays with that Thor in the jungle, so definitely going to be exciting.
Just a couple games ago, he started so well when he was played by this player, right? The Mexi doing such a good job with the Thor ults, being incredibly impactful.
6'4" and 19.
Yeah, with like top 3 damage and really well played.
Yeah, he was just nuts. So high impact, and leaving
Last
that open
pick.
for him.
Interested to see. I wouldn't at all be surprised if they went for the Scylla again. Scylla did so much work in those mid to late game team fights that really mattered and pushed Dragon Knights towards the end. But I'm interested to see where they do end up going with this.
Well, they've got themselves a full 55 seconds to pick, and we'll see what they decide to choose. It's going to be the Scylla, and I think Vulcan's Headlights did a very good job on it, so it's a very smart choice for them.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and lock that in. as the full teams are rounded out. Hopefully we don't have to wait for 3 minutes, something crazy happened. But either way, we should be on short spectator delay. These players are going to trade out. We should be able to get in the game pretty quickly, guys. Go ahead and put your opinions in the chat. Who do you think will win? Do you think Nixios will take it to a game 3, or will Dragon Knights end this best of 3 right here and now? Tell me what you think in chat as we move on and get to see what's actually going to happen.
Indeed, and I'd say, in my personal opinion, from this composition, I want to give it to Nixios. I really do. I just haven't seen enough turning up at a Hotbo, and I mean, we saw Blitzkov doing a lot on Hunbats, but oh man, after seeing Ryut's Thor and after seeing the impact that someone like Gambit can have on Chunga, I can't say Nixios loses this one.
Yeah, but I'm really, really impressed by the draft so far that's come out for Nixios. They have a lot of really, really strong gods. What I am a little bit worried about is just not having the burst damage from Chunga. Gambit built really bursty before, but didn't really, build for being able to move in and out of this team fights, and might have a lot of trouble being able to make it work. But either way, we should be specking in. Hopefully we don't have a whole 3-minute spectator delay. And we should have no issues. But the short delay is what, 30 seconds?
I don't know. But you're funny if you really think Smite's ever gonna treat us right when it comes to behaving, acting as we expect. Please, Silent, please. Why do you have to go and jinx it?
I have tons of experience. I know how this one works. It's all troll or nothing. So we're waiting for this game to load back in. I think both teams have drafted pretty solid comps, but I am really scared of this Chonga, Fafnir, Cernanos roster. I mean, those are 3 really strong gods.
I personally am scared of the Thor. You can say what you want about Cernanos is strong, herder. But I'm scared of Ryut's Thor. I wouldn't want to face that in my ranked games, honestly. He makes such high impact. I haven't seen him. Okay, I've seen him with 1 ult out of like 20 something. Honestly, he's just so strong, and he's gonna make a huge difference, especially when you consider who has a way to get out of that. You don't have a way out on Hercules. You don't have a way out on Bots. You don't have a way out as Rama, unless you time things perfectly. You're just gonna die every time that Thor shows up on your doorstep.
Alright, guys, I think we're gonna go to a loading screen as we wait, and I don't think these teams gave us a shortened spectator delay for this time. So we're just gonna go ahead and wait out the few minutes. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's game 2 of Nixios versus the Dragon Knights. Over in the solo lane, we've got Blisset on Amaterasu versus Ferocity on the Hercules. In the jungle, it's Ryut, the Mexi, versus Blitzkov on Hunbats. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Gambit is running the Chunga against Vulcan's Head Lice's Scylla. That's a mouthful. Over in the duo lane, it's King Kyle 1 on Fafnir and Sinfor on Kurnanos versus Hotbow on Rama and Supportance on Ganesh.
Yeah, both teams have a lot of potential for these team fights to work out. As you mentioned before, after picks and bans, just a few little pot shots here in the left lane. Nothing really much to come of it. I suspect Kurnanos will have no problem out clearing this Rama. Maybe not at level 1 if all the Astro Arrows are used, but pretty much after that should be fine.
I love to see the damage numbers as the out trades come through here. And Sim4 definitely getting the better side of the initial engagement. But over in the mid lane, actually it looks like Blitzkov is tempted to all in.
Yeah, he's going to be forced out. So much poke coming out from Gambit and Riot that he's forced to completely back off. They're going to go invade this speed buff. Easy peasy.
Indeed, and over on the duo side, although Hoppo took a lot of damage, they do manage to clear first, and that means that, overall, Ferocity almost gets the solo kill onto the Yama. And overall, you have pressure in all lanes from Nixios.
Yeah, they're going to invade on the red buff side. Dragon Nanites are going to take something back from that speed buff invade. It's still not as good as getting the speed buff. At least you're getting some farm there. You're not falling behind. What is worrisome though is if you don't look for some more of this jungle farm and you don't hit level 3 as quickly, the game would simply hit that as well. You can be in a world of hurt.
Hotbo rolling Assault aggressively, but doesn't seem to make any conversion out of it. It's interesting when you see a Rama make a play like that at level 2, you're expecting him to be able to secure a kill. So we'll see if that's going to be worth. King Kyle 1 gets stunned out, but not too much more.
Yeah, a little bit of silence onto him, but there isn't really much more that Nixios can do with that Rama in the early game. It's gotten really tough in this recent meta to get kills in the duo lane early. A lot of these players have really kind of smartened up, gotten a little more passive with the way they play. And unless you're really playing something aggressive like a Sobek on her, it can be really tough to find these kills.
Indeed, and once again we see a passive start, which is what we saw at the beginning as well of the last game. And not so much kills, but a lot more farm as Nixios gets a lot of pressure over here on the left side of the map.
Yeah, no problem. They're going to be able to continue to push in. Both dual lanes are going to hit level 4 pretty soon. Actually, level 4 a little bit earlier for Dragon Nanites as they're going to continue to push in. Hoppo rolls in, but doesn't get too much out of it.
Indeed, and it looks like it's going to be a little bit aggression here. On to Sinfor. He's going to be fine, but now it's turned around. The pressure no longer belongs to Nixios on the duo side, and that's really important. I want to see Riot the Mexi making early impact plays because he's at level 5 before his counterpart, enemy jungler.
And we just see overall, there's not too much going on. Once again, another pretty standard game in the early. Both teams just looking at to farm it up, poke each other a lot, but no one really wants to take the aim to disengage. I don't know if they're a little bit nervous as they're actually playing for gems the first time in PSL, but there's really not much else to do.
Well, what's interesting to note is that now we still have not all the level 5s, right? Demexi goes into the air, he's looking down at Ferocity!
Yeah, he's going to land down. There's the stun as well. He doesn't have anywhere to go. Blizzard gave him the last hit on that with a quick little blue stun proc, if I'm not mistaken. By the way, First Blood goes the way of Nixios as Riot the Mexi making another great gank into the soul lane.
There's the high impact play that I said we needed to see, and that's exactly what he did. That's going to be so big for Nixios as they try to make some kind of impact. Coming off from the loss of the first game, that's going to be a great way to start off the second one.
Yeah, definitely a much better start to the game so far. They're the ones in the lead and the ones starting off things so far. And Dragon Nanites haven't been able to quite get in the same way they were. I mean, they're still farming quite effectively. And even though there's a 700 gold that you get from that first blow, there's only about 500 gold lead. So doing pretty well so far as Dragon Nanites, and they're certainly not out of this game yet.
Indeed, as Blitz has taken quite a bit of damage from this Hercules. He's actually very close to being soloed. There's the Earthbreaker. Where's the driving strike?
If there's no ultimate, it seems Blizzard's able to just walk away with the passive movement speed coming out from his 1. And so he's just going to be able to heal up, have no problems.
Earthbreaker is the name of the Ultimate. My
Yeah.
bad.
Feel my strength.
You got it.
Blitzit needs to be very careful, but Ferocity, he has no mana. Blitzit sees this, he wants to go in, take a little bit of a fight. Not gonna be to any consequence,
but
but
it's not gonna get forced
Oracles.
into the tower. Easy healing. Oracles are gonna be taken by Dragon Idiots, no problem here. Really no contest at all. And the game is basically even once again, we can just see the strength of Dragon's Idiots' ability to farm very effectively and just get more out of the map, it seems.
And while it's true that Nixios is sitting up with a little bit of gold, remember that does come from the first blood. Very well played from Gambit there. Make sure that his jungler gets that speed buff.
Yeah, and Sid4 continuing to push in this lane. He's a level behind, but he doesn't seem to care at all. Pushing Hoppo out and back into the closer towards his side of the lane. You're gonna get a few pot shots in, doing a really good job of controlling this duel lane both games now.
Indeed, and it looks like there's a little bit of a hesitance in terms of fighting. No one wants to full commit, although they really can afford to do so. We just saw the beads be burned from Riot the Mexi, but it doesn't matter. He's gonna go in. Hi there, Ferocity. Perfectly placed. Oh my goodness. Ferocity just explained. Wait, what?
Yeah, no stun. Interesting ult thing
What?
from Blizzard. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but either
You
way.
ulted twice on my screen.
Yeah, I think that was some kind of spectator visual bug, but I don't think he actually got that off. But either way, that's another kill for Nixios onto the enemy soul laner, and we can see actually, interestingly enough, Swiftwing was bought. It was actually previously bought, rushed over the beads in order to try to get back to this lane faster, which is going to allow Ferocity to not lose so many creeps.
Well, that's
Look at
a
him go.
pickup you don't
Just-
see every day.
Just look at him go, dude. Look at that. It's hilarious.
Hold that thought. Hotbo might be about to get soloed. Up into the air he goes. Yeah, have fun with that one.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna go anywhere.
quite
King Kyle's
marvelous.
made the rotation as well. Hoppo's actually trying to get out. He actually might be able to get there, but no, there's the wall from Riot. If there's any more follow-up, it doesn't seem like there is. He's gonna somehow make it up, but Blitzkov is gonna die in favor of Nixios once again as Hoppo manages to escape, but his jungler pays the ultimate price.
But Nixios, they might look at the Gold Fury. Now perhaps they're going to reconsider. They do have a very good relic advantage, though, and I would say they should go in on this.
Yeah, both these teams playing incredibly cautiously. They don't want to lose altogether too much, and pretty much it's just a few extra picks for Nixios, putting them at a 500 gold lead. I mean, this game is basically still completely even though Dragon Knights have not gotten on the board yet.
Indeed, and that's really important that they're farming so effectively, because in the end, as the game goes on later, I can't see this getting much better for Nixios when you have gods that give off the early pressure. We'll see if Ryu Mexi is going to be able to do so much as he has in the late game before, but I mean, even so, considering we have 2 deaths on the soul laner, it looks like Ferocity's not going to be such a very strong early game force like we might expect Hercules to be.
Yeah, definitely really good job so far coming out of Blizzard. I think I mean, he does have a couple kills, but I think what's more, he has an extra kill and assist. But I think what's really more important is that he's managed to make it out of this game without getting bullied too hard. Hold that thought. Right, the Mexi in the left lane going for the ultimate. He's actually not in range.
Nation.
Hoppo's going to get in the ultimate anyways. Could be follow-up there. Ganesh is trying to get in range to peel for his carry. But there's the wall. But immediately dashed away from. No double tap is going to come out. Hoppo needs just a couple more autos to get it, but Sin4 is actually going to get completely turned on. Our monster is there as the walls the Sunder. As Right, the Mexi jukes and tries to jump away, enjoying himself. He's going to fall. Dragon Knights get 2 kills in response for just a really too deep of an engage for Nixios. We've heard that story before.
Indeed, and I apologize for Smite's camera being absolute AIDS when it comes to how that fight just looked there. I'm glad we have X-ray outlines because I could barely say anything. Nonetheless, Nixios doesn't look like they're going to be able to steal that Gold Fury thanks to Blitzkov's ultimate, and Dragon Knights are just going to chill out and let Fafnir go. But that's fine by them. They just got a free Gold Fury. Oh, no. Maybe now they're going to chase him out. King Kyle's forced the
King Kyle,
ultimate.
but
He has
the good
no
thing
mana.
Yeah, the good thing is none of them have mana. All 3 of them though, but Ferocity is here. He has plenty of mana, but
No!
gonna miss both of his abilities. The complete choke is
Clown
real, guys.
Fiesta.
It is some kind of clown fiesta. I mean, I think there must be, I think something really went down the wrong way. He just choked on his food there. What your parents tell you, don't play with your food, don't choke on your food, just don't do any of
Someone's
that.
got a Heimlich that while Blitz it. Taking advantage of the rotation is actually going to get the tier 1 on the right side. So no harm, no foul, I guess, because look at the goal difference. It's back to 0.
Oh my lord, these teams are so close, playing tit for tat, back and forth. It's a gold lead, basically stays in the whole time. Actually, Hotbo rolls in on Sinfor. He's looking for the box. He's going to be not turned into a piggy as he uses his beads as Sinfor is getting outtraded here. Hotbo's looking for the snipes. Is he marvels? Hits one, hit, misses the second hit, hits the third. Kind of, sort of marvels as
please.
Hotbo gets the kill.
VEL, please. No? Okay, he had his moment.
No BM. Seems a little bit there. But Rise Mexi once again out of range for that ult. Not going to get the double tap either. Just once again ulting, but not close enough. The teleport is there from Blitz, gobbling from our damage, but Riot's fine.
Indeed. Well, Hotbo had his opportunity with the Rama. I mean, S+ tier. If we had to rank gods on the scale of their VEL, Rama is S++. It's a shame he didn't utilize it.
I think what was it? Was it Panda Cat in this most recent SPL game? I can't remember who in the world the United was playing. Managed to get away with like 2 health or something after being chased out, and he just presses VEL. It just gets in your head, and it's really effective. We obviously allow a little bit of taunting when you make some good plays like that one, but no spam laughs. We try to avoid BM, no macro spams, none of that. This is a clean game. We try to keep the cast
Okay,
clean.
but if you're Jermaine and you just stole a fire giant or whatever, you have all rights in the world to VEL.
Oh, you absolutely have all the rights. Yeah, we see a pause here. I don't see anybody DC. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I haven't heard anything from these captains, so hopefully we should be getting back in the game pretty short.
Indeed, but I want to take this moment to point out that it was a very questionable choice for Sinfor to go all in on that. Because he's down now a second kill after he got soloed the second time. But after getting soloed the first time, and you're down a full pretty much item now, I don't know if it's the best call. Meanwhile, Gambit though, what an ultimate! Oh my goodness! Waxing Moon absolutely destroys Vulcan's head life, and Riot gets credit for that kill. And he wants to go in on more ferocity. He's running away as much as he can. That beautiful slow from Dharmic Pillar is going to keep him alive, but what a play.
What I think was really more impressive than the ult, which was really, really good, was the beads. He uses the beads perfectly timed to get out of the CC from Ferocity and managed to get that ultimate off, which turned that fight completely around.
Let's call on the back line. And he goes.
With the ultimate. Riot taking incredibly low, and he's going to be chased down. The Leaf is going to get the kill. Now Gambit's the next one that's going to be focused. He's going to use immunity frames. The Blitzcalm still wants it. Really good stun by King Kyle. Beads used by Blitzcalm, but there's not enough damage for him. He's going to get out before Sinfor destroys him.
Almost an overcommit there from the Hun bots. He should have been satisfied with the 1 kill, back off, reset, let your team arrive. He didn't overcommit though, and that's really good for him, but very good play there. Recognizing that there was basically no wards for Nixios, and they were completely surprised by the Fear No Evil on the back line, which destroyed Ryut.
Yeah, nice little trade of the Oracle's Hoppa, being a little bit cheeky and stealing one of those away, but otherwise, pretty much low in the game, and the game is still basically even. 300 gold lead for Dragon, and that's basically that. I mean, this game just needs to be broken wide open by one major team fight.
Well, perhaps that could have been in the mid lane, but there wasn't a huge commit. Even so, there's the opportunity for it all the time because of the low cooldowns that we have. Hold that thought, because guess who's in the air?
Yeah, right. Mexi looking for something in the middle lane. He's going to land down onto Vulcan's head, but he's barely being able to get out. And that's just going to be a wash. Free ultimate used.
Indeed, but the fact of the matter is...
Well, hold that thought. Left lane, Sinfor getting the better of Hotbo. He's going to be able to barely get out of there. Left lane, continuing the rotation. Ferocity could be the next one caught out. There's the Dharmic Pillars. Ferocity goes in for more. And it looks like Nixios is just going to get out. What a weird fight.
The importance here is that Gambit is keeping everyone on Nixios healthy, and that means that they can keep on fighting, whereas Dragon Knights are being bled out and have to keep backing. They should somehow find a way to take advantage of this. Use it just for the mid camps if they have to, by relieving the pressure in mid lane. I don't see enough play being made off of Gambit, and I don't see enough impact from the Chunga. I mean, we saw the huge triple stun earlier, but there could be so much more happening.
Yeah. I definitely think we can see more action. Both these teams are playing really cautiously, just taking really small trades, not wanting to go all in, because both sense they're very, very even in skill level, and just one quick misplay can result in the end of a game. So you don't really want to go too far and make a big mistake.
Well, the ultimates are coming back online, and again, my eyes are going to be on Riot. How is he going to make the difference in the next fight and all that? Because in the end, all these junglers are capable of getting into the back line and destroying the squishies. And it's going to be about who can peel better, who can engage better, and Sin4 might be in for a surprise if he's not careful, because he doesn't have many wards.
Yeah, Sin4 really needs to play a little bit more carefully. Though he has managed to get a ward down onto the Gold Fury and continue to farm up. But either way, this game is just balanced on a knife's edge, E-Man. And I'm just waiting to see both teams finally go all out.
Well, it looks like we might be seeing a bit of grouping up over by the Gold Fury. In fact, it might just be started up here, and there is vision on it, so we'll see how the response comes through from Nixios as Riot. Look at his positioning. He goes up into the sky.
Yeah, looking for more. There's the Hunbats onto Sin4. Beads popped immediately from both Gambit and Sin4, but now Riot's in the back, only lands onto supporters, but Hoppo's already taken a 1 HP, trying to get the ultimate off as the Darming Pillars run down. Sin4 taking incredibly low, Gambit being forced to finally Aegis, but Hoppo's made it out. He's somehow still alive. Vulcan's head life, he's going to fall down to Blizzard, but now they're going to continue looking for more. There's the Frenzy being popped by Nixios as they look to chase in. Really good wall.
What a
Takes
wall.
out one. And now Ferocity's on a run for his life as Supportance falls. 2 for 0 trade for Nixios as they go to the Gold Fury.
What a wall. Kofefe. What a wall. Ferocity. Oh, yeah, speaking of good walls. Over the top! Nixios no steal. There it is. They do get the Gold Fury. Nice try, Ferocity.
If he had managed to get that bounce back before the Gold Fury had died, he would have actually stolen it away. It's so absolutely close. But now Nixios finally managed to grab himself an almost 2,000 gold lead. I'm just really concerned that they're not going to make plays off of this and take this lead, and they're just going to get put down to about 1,000 by the time the next fight, because Dragon Hinites just seem to farm better, and it's already down to 1,400 wave to wave.
Indeed, and it's very interesting to point out that in that fight, Hoppo was not finished off. They thought they got him, and he managed to slip away. That fight could have gone so differently if Hoppo did not get out of there. It could have been a huge advantage for Nixios. Granted, they still won the fight, but it's all about how they can convert, and if Rama's still alive, you can't necessarily push down the mid tower as a result. Nonetheless, Gold Fury, significant enough. 1,700 gold lead now for Nixios, but it could be bigger if they are playing smarter.
And the Pearl Demon is pulled up. No one has any vision on this or has made any moves towards it. Actually, no, they do have vision. Here's Hercules, but I think it's going to be too little too late. Already taken down as King Cal teleports in the same frame it comes up. Now they're pretty pissed, looking for more, but they completely immune. Blitzkov, huge misplay as Game managed to get out of that Fear No Evil with no issues.
Indeed, and you can see this grouping up here on the right-hand side as Hoppo decides to go full on this tower, and he's being completely ignored. But now Dragon Knights is splitting up, and in comes
right there. Mexi
Weak
goes,
Nation.
and he's not going to catch anybody. Hoppo manages to back off. He's going to pop into the ultimate. Darming Pillars have been popped. But he's trying to go with the snipes. Gambit taken out. Marvels is here to play. I'm a Monster only lands onto the tank. That's a 1-for-0 trade so far in favor of the Dragon Knights as they're looking for more.
And King Kyle has popped into the ultimate. They want to go in. A beautiful 3-man wall, and goodbye. He's going to be forced to use the Aegis as Vulcan's headlights running with his tail between his legs, or her, I should say, as his Scylla. But what a wall. What a wall. The walls have been absolutely on point from Riot so far.
Yeah, Riot definitely putting most of his team in the backpack. With another one, he actually needs a plus one. There's no push from Ferocity. But either way, definitely Riot doing so much work in these team fights. And I think if he wasn't playing today, if they had a sub, I don't even think they'd be here today.
Absolutely incredible. Riot has been on fire, and he literally made the difference there in a fight that could have gone so much worse for them. Absolutely incredible stuff out of the Thor jungle. I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed. And you can see here, sure, he might not be that high up on the player damage, but the impact that he has is clearly visible, having participation in 5 out of the 6 kills that we've seen, with the one he hasn't been a part of being the solo kill.
Yeah, Sin4 going ahead, clearing that wave off. Such a close game so far. He is sitting at top of the player damage chart, but I think it's a lot to do with a huge AoE ultimate and just really good poke with the Bramble Blast. But either way, all the damage, all the players are incredibly close so far this game. And I think we're all just waiting, and Dragon Knights are just really waiting for Vulcan's headlights to come back on. He's sitting right barely above the enemy support in damage, but I think that's going to change pretty quickly once he finishes off this pen item.
And it looks like, again, Nixio's grouping up in the mid lane. They want something so bad. That mid tier 1 tower, it looks juicy. I mean, we see 5 towers up on one side and 6 towers up on the other. Not much objective play and a lot of fighting with no consequence. Missed opportunities, in my opinion. Riot, though, takes a lot of poke from supportants. He's going to be healed up, though, by Gambit. Absolutely incredible play. All the team here grouped up. We're ready for the next fight. All the ultimates are up. Do they spot Ferocity on the back line?
He could get caught here. He's got to pluck into the Hoonbot's ult as well as the Dharmic Pillars. They've completely routed Dragon Knight so far. And now Ferocity is the next to fall. I'm a Monster lands down onto King Kyle. Takes him out. But now here's Riot on the backside. He's taken incredibly well. Hotball finishes him off. Blizzard, he's silenced. He can't do anything. He's going to change to try to heal. But can he get any kill trades before he dies? He's going to hit the trade. Vulcan's headlights kicked off by Hotbow. The Blizzard makes the trade out. Really well done from him, but so far a 4-for-2 trade. But all the members of Dragon Knights are so very low.
What a fight. Everyone died. Everyone else on extremely low health if they didn't get killed there. But it looks like there could just be a full-on gas pedal, and they're just going to go for that tier 1 tower mid that they deserve. What a fight from Dragon Knights.
Yeah, 3-man pull from Ferocity into a 4-man ultimate and 3-man Dharmic Pillar. They just completely comboed perfectly, and Ferocity did such a great job to get where he did in that position.
Absolutely, and that was really contribution from everyone on the team. It was a perfect team fight. Every single player was involved. Every single player was the target, and it was so well done. That was a real good fight, and you can see what happened as a result. The goal difference, we're back to dead even.
This is craziness. I've never seen 2 teams play 2 back-to-back games and it'd be just so close again and again, back and forth, trade to trade. The gold lead has never gotten above 2,500, which is so impressive to see these teams just trade back and forth.
Indeed, and it looks like the Gold Fury is going to be inside of the next fight, but here they come.
Yeah, it's going to be completely leashed off. Nixio's actually manages to pull it away from them, and it's leashed away now, right? The Mexican to pop in. He doesn't have anywhere to go. But Ferocity the next on the chopping block. Huge boulder is going to try to get him out of dodge, but amazing try on the ultimate. Catches 4 members. Vulcan headlights being CC'd down. King Kyle, the first to fall. Hoppo doing so much work in the backline. Plucked in is Blizzard. They're going to look for more. They block out the silence. He's been hit by the root crush. He's taken incredibly low as Hoppo gets another kill. Double kill for the Hunter on the side of Dragon Knights. Blink in by Blitzkov. He's looking for more. The Gold Freeze traded for 2 kills as Dragon Knights evens up the game once again.
Hotbow is unstoppable. 7-0-2. This is what we've been waiting for from Hotbow. I've been saying this isn't his full potential. I know he can do better, and now he's showing it. Incredible stuff from him.
Yeah, Hoppo getting hit with the double tap, but not that much damage actually. They're going to rotate over to this Portal Demon. They have to be careful. Sin4 and Gambit do have the damage to take them out if they're not careful. Frosty needs to go zone this. I don't think they can do it. I think they're going to have to give it up, and they will.
Indeed, but it looks like Nixios is actually going for this time, and now Nixios is deciding to fall back, realizing exactly how many numbers are close by, but nobody's going to go for that Portal Demon.
Yeah, Sin4 just being a little bit rude, throwing some auto attacks onto this Portal Demon. You can just see how much damage Vulcan's headlights is finally hitting for now that he's finished Obsidian Shard. He's going to go the same build. He's going to go straight into a run to Hootie. He's just going for full late game burst to try to get these kills with I'm a Monster, and just the Root Crush combo did so much work in that last team fight.
Well, once again, it looks like Portal Demon is being toyed with,
Riot's
but
up in the air.
down
He's
comes
going to
Riot.
land onto Blitzkov, but there's nothing else, just a couple extra stuns. Blitzkov actually taking incredibly low. He's going to manage to get away. Our Monster hits nobody as Blizzard's going forward into Vulcan's headlights. Gambit the first to be taken out. Hoppo is just on a tear. He's taking incredibly low. He's all on his own. Sin4 dashes in on him. Hoppo's got nowhere to go, but he's up in the ultimate, waiting for his team to come help him. King Kyle looking for more onto Supportance as Hoppo is trying to manage to get away. He might try to turn on Sin4, who's being body blocked by this Ferocity, and now Ferocity's the one to fall. Sin4 taken so incredibly low, but he is going to make it out, and what a crazy fight this one is.
A double kill for Ryut, and that's 2 for 1, as it looks like now they can do something more definitive, like go for that Portal Demon. Very well played. It looked a little bit hectic, but basically everyone split up, but because Nixios stayed grouped, they came out on top in that fight. Supportance, he's going to attempt to steal this Portal Demon. Not gonna get it. Nixios do secure that, so that's really important for them. And now the goal lead is a little bit more in favor. Finally, for the first time above 3,000, it's in favor of Nixios.
Yeah, really, really unfortunate that there's about 30 to 40 seconds left for Blitzkov on this beads. It's just coming up right now. If he had those beads up, he would have been able to bait out all the cooldowns, then just beads away, been about probably about half health to 3/4 health, and be able to still be part of this team fight. But without their jungler making a big impact in the backline, Dragon Knights had a hard time winning that team fight.
Indeed, but you can see the teams are still gonna group up on the right side because they want the Fire Giant now. Having Portal Demon, they are going to look to see what kind of objectives they can secure. In fact, now it's just going to go into the mid tower that they decide to full gas pedal because Nixios realizes Dragon Knight is nowhere to be found. What is his attack speed?
Yeah, he's just going to completely shred it through. No problem. That's just a free middle T1 for Nixios, but it's only about a 3,000 gold lead. They're still not out of the woods yet. They need to get this next Fire Giant and push on all these T2s before they're really completely in control of this game.
Indeed, and now the focus once again looks towards the Fire Giant after they got the easy objective, and I'm not 100% certain, but what is this?
Hoppo slow pushing?
Oh, it's Chunga's bunny. I was like, why do I see a blue dot moving towards the base?
Hello?
I was so
Hoppo
confused.
looking to try to fight. Sin4 is going to actually just go the safe way around. Oracle's probably taken by the Dragon. ADC, no big issue there. And definitely, it's all about Hoppo. He can't get caught out. He can't lose his actives. He has to have them up for the next team fight, which he does. And he has to make big plays if Dragon Knights wants to win this game.
But he's over on the left side of the map, and that means Nixios, they could just basically get a free Fire Giant if they take the next fight 5v4 because it's huge for them. And what is Blitz's build?
Interesting.
How does he have so much attack speed?
Blitzkov? The hunter? Not the hunter,
Blitz
the...
Amma. The Amma.
Oh.
What? Okay,
I
am I
have
just
n-
lit? Oh,
think
it's the
you're just-
coerce. That's
Yeah,
why.
I think you're just a
The
little...
coerce
litty.
was making the Amma attack very fast, that's all.
But hold that thought. Dragon Knights, they start up the Fire Giant. They're not quite in position. Is Nixios to defend this? If they manage to get it, they pop the Frenzy. Volcatelli with the ultimate. Dragon Knights manage to secure it. Now Gambit's the first to fall. Hip Hoppo absolutely destroys her. Riot's the next as Dragon Knights have completely routed Nixios. King Kao up in the ultimate, trying to get away from this one, but the crush does almost all of his health bar. And now he's going to get taken out by the snipes from Hoppo. One more needs to land. Not going to be there. He's not going to be able to pick that kill up. But moving forward, they're going to continue pushing into this T2. This is a huge win, but Volcatelli is dashing in aggressively as they bait in Blizzard. He's going to go for the ultimate, hitting a stun on 2, but there's really no follow-up to get more damage. Hoppo is going to go ahead and shred this tower.
Indeed, that was a huge play at a Hoppo, doing all that damage onto the Fafnir. He's now climbing up the damage charts. He was so instrumental in that fight when he forced out the enemy team just by doing so much damage that they decided to turn and run. No one wants to face the full team Dragon Knights with Fire Giant, especially after they got that early pick, and that was so important for them. And now look at Hoppo's damage. He is absolutely destroying everything with
Yeah, I
his
think
build.
he double crit Gambit and just blew Gambit into smithereens. So they're just gonna go ahead and back and head into what is our left lane, their right lane. I expect Blitzkov with a pause. Hopefully, Supportants can come back pretty shortly.
Indeed, all that was Hotbo, and yes, we see Sin4 putting a valiant effort, but this time the tables are turned, and he was so instrumental. Seeing Rage picked up on Rama. Rage. How do you feel about this item, Rage?
I think it's a really, really great item.
Do you?
Yeah, I think it really is. It gives you so much. It gives you so much critical strike chance. Right now, it gives you, I think, is it 15? No, it's like 25% when you get all the passive. It's a lot of critical chance, and a lot to go for. I'm hearing actually from Dragon Knights, unfortunately, that Supportance isn't going to be able to come back for the whole set. So I don't know if they're going to try to play this one out 4v5. I don't know how much we can fast forward through, but that's at least what I've heard from him.
Well, we're gonna see them play through this game, I guess, 4v5, and if they need to forfeit the last game, then that might have to be the case. But at this point, Dragon Knights, they are looking very good here. They do have Fire Giant, so they have the opportunity to pull very far ahead, and Hotbo is in this hard carry point at the moment. So
Yeah, no.
if he's not coming back, I mean, we do have to play it out 4v5, but it's gonna be definitely pretty close.
Yeah, I don't know if his team can manage to pull out the win and get them gems this set. I don't know if they'll be able to play the third game at all. They do need 5 players, of course, in order to play the third one in the first place. So we'll
have
find out
subs?
from production. We don't know if they have any subs or not. We know they're a new team, so they might not actually.
What a shame. They really
Yes,
should
we'll
have
see.
subs.
Yeah, really awkward spot for them so far. Hopefully, they can either somehow magically win this one out with a hugely fed Hoppo, or they might have to surrender out the whole set, unfortunately. They're going to wait this one out, but I don't think they have very much more pause time left, so we're 3 minutes behind, so we'll see what's going to happen pretty shortly.
Yes,
All
that,
right,
that is me
guys.
you're hearing typing.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go to a quick pause screen. Wait for them to unpause. They might surrender straight away. I'm not quite sure what they're gonna be doing. So, we're gonna see if we can wait out this pause and see if they're gonna try to play it out 45.
We're back. We're back. We're back. Silent, are you there?
Yeah. We are here. I think it looks like they're gonna play it out 4v5. I haven't heard any words about game 3. Looks like they're still in it. So we'll see. We'll find out any other news. But unfortunately, after they got the Fire Giant such a great lead, looks like they're gonna try to push left lane without supportance and try to win these team fights. So I don't know how they're gonna do it. If they do, it's gonna be off the backs of Hoppo for sure.
Well, Hotbo has been on fire lately, and you can see how much shred he does to these towers. And in fact, they're just going to keep... Is it a base race?
I think it might be a base race, but I don't think they're going to go to it. It looks like there's going to be at least 2 members. No, all members are going to straight up back. Free Phoenix for Nixios as they're going to push in. Looks like they're going to head to the left side as Hoppo actually decided to stay. He's going to push this left and continue to go for the Phoenix as the backs him out on the other side. What a game of chicken we got going on here.
It is indeed a little bit of a base race. Very interesting call to be made, but nonetheless, I guess it's the call for Dragon Knights if they want to win this, because 4v5, you want to try and challenge them and fight as much as you can.
Yeah, for sure. I think you're really in a tough spot, and you can't really take the base race when they don't have to clear a T1. But I mean, if they had the T1 already cleared, you could probably just go ahead and just go straight for the base race. You got really nothing else to lose because you kind of have to in this 4v5. I mean, or you just take a big, long, drawn-out fight, try to magically somehow win it, and then end the game. But I mean, there's really not a lot of options when you're down to 4v5.
Indeed, and now it looks like the siege here is gonna go up over on the right side, but look who's in the sky. It's
Right,
Ryu.
the mix looking for something. Vulcan's headlight's already taken out. He's pretty much dead to right. And next is going to be on the chart mark. King Kyle does taken out by Hoppo, but now Ferocity is getting completely shredded by Sin4. Hoppo's managed to zone off wild members. This is still a 2-for-1 trade. It's actually a 3-for-3. Dragon Knights might be able to pull this one out if Hoppo gets a couple really good crits off. But no, he's taken incredibly low by Sin4 already. He's just throwing out all the damage in the world.
And it looks like they want to go all the way
what
in.
a
2 sets of
huge
beads
push.
are popped.
Yeah, Blitzkrieg could possibly go in on this, but Hoppo is continuing to fire the auto to the Fatalis. Made the roll in. It looks like Dragon Knights are going to go for this fight. Blink in by Blitzkrieg. They're all incredibly low from both teams. Frosty picks up a kill. Can Hoppo turn out to win this game? He's going to try to go for this Phoenix and shred it down in response to the middle Phoenix, and the other is taken out. And they're going to somehow get it. Dragon Knights are managing to pull out this game so far and even it up, even down a member.
Indeed, and this kind of gameplay is so important. It's about using ferocity to keep Hoppo alive and letting him chunk. He's doing so much damage. He's critting Amaterasu for 500, and she's got Mid Guardian, Breastplate, and Shield of Regrowth.
Yeah, he's definitely really, really tough to kill, is that Hercules. And they're just going to go ahead. They're going to get this Portal Demon. But the real thing is, Dragon Knights have to win this game. I don't think they have a sub or anyone that can fill in for them last minute. It is already 11 Eastern. So they're going to have to try to pull out this game or probably surrender this, which is not going to be a good feeling for them if they don't manage to pull this one out after doing so well in both games.
Definitely would be a feels bad man if they have to surrender it. But Hotbo is not giving up without a fight. He has done so much, and he is absolutely swinging right now. You can see his build is complete, and he is going to do so much in this next fight.
Yeah, he has to really get a couple of plays. They spot out Sin4. They're going to try to go for him, or maybe just try to run into the base. It looks like they're just going to go for the end, as the back, at least one back has already come out. I don't know if they're going to sit there and wait. I think they're on a ward, if I'm not mistaken. They're going to take the ward off. But, I mean, they could probably still go in and try to end it. I don't think they have quite the burst damage. Vulcan's Headlights could do a lot of work with the Scylla Ultimate. But this is really what they're looking for, to try to cheese their way through this game or try to win it out. But if they can get it, E-Man, they can get 1,000 gems.
That was such a close call. I feel like they would have had the power to do it, too. Like, they have a frenzy on their side, and they have a... Or they don't, sorry. But they have enough power on Hotbo alone to just do so much
headed
work.
up in the air. They can completely disengage. Is Dragon, as he's really nowhere for Thor to land. He's going to land onto the Fire Giants. Just started up by Nixios. He down, getting pretty low as Hotbo's trying to do some damage to Blizzit. Getting half health. It looks like it's going to be leashed by both teams. I'm surprised Nixios just isn't going for the all-in here. Sunder onto Riot. He's taking a lot of damage. There's Toonbot with the Blink ultimate, and Riot's taking incredibly low. The Aegis is there. Gambit's already taken out. Hoppo, he's fallen, though. The big carry for Dragon Knights. Can they manage to pull out this fight even without him? Blitzkov looking for more onto Sin4. Ferocity gets the push. He's going to hit with the Earthshaker. One more auto will do it, but there's not quite there. Blitzkov looking for the teleport. He is going to pick it up. But on the other end, Vulcan's Headlights is taking out himself. 2-for-2 trades so far, and it's in favor of Nixios as long as they keep all their members alive.
Well, even so, all that fighting is now going to be for naught, and Nixios has to deal with the fire minions. So while they do wait a long time for the respawns to come through, that was, I guess, this game kind of does stall out at this point. You can't really do too much with 3 alive. You can't do a fire giant behind people's backs. You might be able to do the Gold Fury, but you have to defend from the fire minions anyways, and it's a good, I guess you could say, penalty killing style of play out of Dragon Knights that's come through here, but rather out of Nixios. But Dragon Knights still have a way into this. Again, it's about keeping Hotbo alive. While I do say Ferocity chased the kill and it was worth because it was a kill, I still think he should be more focused on keeping his carry alive.
Yeah, if Hoppo managed to survive out of all that burst in the beginning, they definitely would have been able to win that team fight. I'm pretty confident they would be, and probably push towards the end, but they have to get just one big team fight, one big burst, and I'm Monster on the Gambit, erasing him off the map, picking off Riot, which they did that last team fight, forcing him out. Any of these things could possibly get Dragon Knights to the situation where they can actually 4v4 and win it with Hoppo in the carry position.
Especially considering how Thor's ult was pretty much useless throughout that fight. It's really vital that they take advantage of misplays that Nixios make, and they can use that to make their comeback. And look on the backside here.
Yeah, Blitzkrieg looking for something on this right side. The team really needs to probably group up and try to get something out of it. I mean, you really need Hoppo to be sitting there slamming those autos into the back line.
Indeed, and you can see here that the longer that they just stall it out, the worse it does get for Dragon Knights, but I think they can just look for the right window of opportunity. It's not over for them, even though they are fighting 4v5.
Yeah, they're going to have a really, really tough time if they try to get this through. I mean, there's still the potential there. They played incredibly well. This is actually a really good opportunity. Amaterasu has back. They probably want to look for a fight here. Really good crush, doing some damage onto 2 carries, but really nothing else going to come of it.
Indeed, and Gambit's going to keep Nixios alive and healthy, while Dragon Knights might be forced to back. So it's also another reason that Dragon Knights need to find the right play, because if the reset happens, it doesn't work in their favor.
Yeah, Frosty looking to try to catch something out. They're not going to find anything here. Vulcan's Headlight is going to continue to find... Can you look for something, but not really going to find it. Because now they're put in a really, really tough spot. They have to try to get something, and it has to be soon. The later this game goes, the harder it becomes to win a 4v5.
And are we seeing a pause or a blitz it?
Hopefully... I mean, I haven't heard really anything, right? The Mexi's now
Oh,
DC'd. Can we just get a
4v4?
4v4, guys? I don't think they have very much longer on this timer.
Well, that would be an interesting turn of events.
Yeah, they should have. I mean, they actually might get disqualified if they just go straight over on time for how long they've been paused. They've been paused for a significant amount this game. And if they go over their 9 minutes, they will immediately receive a DQ. So they have to be careful. I hope they've recorded how long they've been DC'd for.
This is interesting.
It's definitely an interesting turn of events. We have to wait this one out and see.
Was this written by M. Night Shyamalan? Because that plot twist, man.
I feel like this might have been. We're going to have to just see and wait out this pause. There's nothing really else we can do.
Unpause coming through? No?
Yes, we are going to see an unpause going to come through and another immediate repause.
Question mark? Someone is keeping track, right? Someone is keeping track, right?
Well, I'm pretty sure that they're very close to hitting over their 9-minute mark.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So assuming we do have a 4v4 here, what happens? One team down a support, one team down a jungler.
Well, I think 4v4 Dragon Knights win this one. I think 4v4 they definitely are in a position where they can win. Just trying to find out any information I can from these players before anything else happens.
Right. Scripted?
I feel like this is like way too M. Night
Scripted?
Shyamalan to not be scripted. Unfortunately, it's not. It just turned out this crazy.
I wish you could see what Twitch chat's saying, but my frames would suffer too much if I had Chrome open.
And not really much. Just talking about some builds and this turning into Siege.
Siege Championship hype.
Siege Championship hype. Hey, Arrows, can you do me a favor? I don't know if you can go back in the VOD as it currently is, and if you could check pause times for me right now. I don't know if you can to say how long they've been paused for. Question mark. If you can, please go ahead and do that for me. If you can stay in this VOD that's currently being run on this game.
Should be able to.
And I think you should be able to. So if you can go back on the VOD Arrows and just see if you can calculate how long Nixios has run their pause for.
Well, it
They've
looks like the
unpaused
pause
here.
is finally done.
Yeah, they've unpaused here, but I'm not sure if they ran over at all. They spent at least like 2 to 3 minutes paused here as well. So I'm not. I just want to confirm none of the teams are over paused on time.
Well, it looks like they're continuing despite the disconnected jungler. So now it's 4v4, and I don't know. Yeah, you said Dragon Knights has a huge advantage in this, and I would have to agree with you. There's the blink. Fear No Evil comes through. King Kyle's the only one caught out. He's going to ult the ultimate. Waxing Moon as well. Hoppo, he's forced out, but he's going to go into the sky. The snipe's coming through. Is he going to get Gambit? Not so much, but Sinfor is going to pick up Ferocity. He's going to finally get the double kill onto Hotbo, and all of a sudden, the gas pedal's going through. Blitzkov is unstoppable. He's pulled out a kill, but the counter kill comes through from Blitzit, and now that is 3-4-1. Nixios finally pulling forward. This is huge for them.
Yeah, definitely really important if they do manage to get this. Vulcan's Headlights possibly might be able to steal with a good crush. Blizzard taking a crib blow. He's taken out. Actually, Vulcan's Headlights doing so much damage. They get the Portal Demon, but they lose another member. And even though it's a 3v1 right now, with Vulcan's Headlights backing, I don't think they can do the Portal Demon. They can't do the Fire Giant at all.
Indeed, but they are going to move forward, and right, the Mexi has reconnected. So that's going to be the case. They are going forward under Vulcan's Headlights, waiting around the corner. I'm a monster, not available though, so it'll have to be a crush for the steal, and right, the Mexi's finally spotted him out. In fact, he's going into the air, and he's going to come right back down onto Vulcan's Headlights. Uh-oh. Oh, weak nation. But there's the Aegis as well. He's going to chase it out. Misses the double tap, which is quite uncharacteristic.
Yeah, Sinfor is going to be able to clean it up. Wow, just look at the root, actually. It does about 40% of Sinfor's health. Now Hercules back. None of these sides can end it. The Pearl Demon turning out to be really valuable. Gambit able to teleport in here. Can Ferocity manage to make some kind of steal or stall them out? He needs to go in now to try to bait as many cooldowns as much time as he can. Looks like he's just going to go for the steal instead. It's a 4v1 right now with Hoppo there. There's the boulder. Nixios do manage to secure it as they're going to all decide to go back to base and look for more.
I don't know if this is the right call because they're allowing the players of Dragon Knights to respawn. Nonetheless, it looks like this right tier 2 is going to fall down without contest, but I think it's so important what Hotbo's been able to do that waiting for him to respawn is going to make him unable to destroy a single Phoenix off of this.
Yeah, they're going to pick up this Phoenix, and it's incredible. Dragon Knights 4v5 for about the last 10 minutes have managed to stall this one out, but they need to keep Hoppo alive and get this I'm a Monster on target. They missed the last team fight. Part of the reason why they lost, as well as the fact that Hoppo just got hit by so much damage from Blizzard, and the Chang'e ultimate coming out of Gambit did so much work against him.
Indeed, even though he's respawned, he's got to wait on those beasts to come back before he can afford the next engagement, and looks like it'll be a free Gold Fury as well for Nixios if they choose to do so. But no, Into the Sky has gone Ryut. Whoopsies.
I don't think he's in rage. He's going to pull a ha, totally missed the ultimate, guys. No, he didn't have anywhere to land. They're going to go for this T2 on left side with the Fire Giant. Don't think Dragon Units can defend. I think they have to defend at the Phoenix if they want to win this game. I think if they lose at least 2 Phoenixes, they're really going to have no way to come back 4v5. Alright, so I have literally no idea what's going on with our camera. I think we should be okay as we're following through with assisted cam. But either way, on the left side, they continue to push in, looking for some kind of pick here or the stun. Either way, E-Man doing something hilariously embarrassing. I'm sure we can make fun of him later for it. As Nixios continues to push in. Gambit's in the middle lane. Possibly could come with a really good flank. A lot of beads have come back up for players, so it won't be that effective for his ultimate to be there. The real big thing is getting Hoppo, keeping him alive, and getting him in position to wail on some of these players. Full build with the Blood Forge can put him against King Kyle blinking in or dashing in. Excuse me. He's going to use the ultimate. Is now on the front side. So much damage coming out. King Kyle being forced out. Sinfor doing a lot of work. Ferocity's the first to fall. Vulcan's Headlight. He's going to be the next to fall. Blizzard takes him out. Blitzkov trying to get something done, but there's nothing much else to do. Riot is going to continue moving forward. Double tap after Hoppo rolls away, and that's going to be almost a complete team wipe Blitzcup doesn't have much anywhere else to go, and unfortunately, 4v5 hope was dashed by Nixios as they win this game 2, and we'll find out what's going on for our game 3.
GG, well played. Dragon Knights weren't able to hold on, although it was a valiant effort, and that means that the score does go 1-1 tied up, but we do need to know whether or not they're going to forfeit that game 3. So
yeah, we are not gonna see a game 3, but it all does come down to, or we have a staff member right now on it, gonna check some of these pause times to see if either of these teams went over pause time. If either of them did, we could either see just both teams going over pause time, in which case we'll punish them some other way, or if Nixios did run over and Dragon Knights didn't, Dragon Knights will win by default as both teams only have 9 minutes of pause time. So we'll find about that later in the future, guys.
Technicalities are fantastic.
These fatalities are fantastic. We'll find about that and make some kind of announcement later onto the winner on the PSL Discord. That's it for me. I think we're going to call this one a night. I'm pretty tired. E-Man, do you have anything else to add before we say goodnight?
Other than GG, well played, I don't know if there's too much more to say. We saw incredible Smite today, and I'm very excited to see what we got coming up in the future.
All right, with that, we're going to see you guys probably on Saturday. We might have a small tournament once again, for teams looking to get in the PSL. But otherwise, we'll see you for sure on Sunday with some casted games. I'm Silent Shadows with his E-Man, F-Man, and that's it for PSL Weekly Tournament number 1.
Ciao.